Good night, Barbados. Good night, Caribbean. Good night, the world. This is Marcia Weeks, and you are watching the Marcia Weeks Show. We are coming to you live from Barbados. Oh my goodness. I hope you are feeling the excitement in the air. I hope you're feeling the energy. I hope you're feeling the light. I am feeling so full of light. I'm feeling so encouraged. I'm feeling that Barbadians are standing up. Listen, I mean, my phone is just ringing off the hook because people are sharing their thoughts, they're sharing their viewpoints, and oh my Lord, it is wonderful. And I tell you, there is just something that is happening all across the Caribbean, all across this region. And we're part of it, Barbados. We're seeing a change is coming. There is a change is coming. We are demanding better from our governments, aren't we? Yes, we are. We know we deserve better, and we are demanding better. And let me tell you, we are just about we're right there, and we're not going to stop now. We're not going to stop. So let me just everybody. Welcome everybody. People are watching this show all over. People are getting educated. Barbadians are getting educated. Barbadians are understanding exactly what is happening. The education is happening on the Marcia Week Show. The agitation, the motivation, and the mobilization is happening. Yes, it is happening right here on the Marcia Week Show, live from Barbados. We are sending up this word right across Africa and the Africa diaspora. Yes, we are saying to our leaders, hey, we are intelligent beings. We know what's happening. We demand better. We know we deserve better. And we're making these demands of our government. We are excited and happy to be here. We are forming a team. We are so strong. Our team is so strong. I tell you, we are a force to be reckoned with. All throughout this region, people are catching on. Yes, Judy Jills, good evening. You're part of that team, Judy. CG, good evening, CG, and thank you for those wonderful placards that we had at the solemn march. CG is the person who puts them, designs them, puts it all together. Thank you, CG, for those wonderful placards. People are asking for you now. It's two that you haven't been. I got a message yesterday. Where is the lady that does the placards? They're asking for you, CG. Let them know you weren't feeling well, but you will be at the next one. That's going to be coming up soon, October 6th. We are going to Chapman Lane. Patrick, good evening, Patrick. Queen B, good evening, good evening. Were you guys at, were you there? Cecilia Miller, good evening, Cecilia. I don't think Cecilia was at the last one. Cecilia told me she will definitely be at the next one. Yes? Joyanne Faith, good evening, Joyanne Faith. Nigel Carrington, good evening, Nigel. Marcia, my namesake. Oh my goodness, there are three Marcias here. Is Marcia Weeks? Marcia, I don't know the last name of this Marcia, but there's also Marcia Miller. Good evening, Teroni. How you doing, Teroni? Teroni, I want to just single you out and your mom for your faithfulness. I don't know if you've missed any marches since you started. I tell you, both of you, I look out for you, and I thank you for just your support. You love this country, and you support what's happening on this channel. And I want to just acknowledge that. Mystic Angel, good evening. Bim the Beautiful, good evening. FX Trading, BB, great, great. Thank you, FX Trading, for joining. Loyal Daughter 66, wonderful. Good evening, Loyal Opposition. Winds of Change. I tell you, and she wrote this. She wrote this at 6:56. And here I came talking about this change. We're connected, Loyal Daughter. Please like and share. Please like and share. Please like and share. I want us to understand that we are working together here. We're working. You remember when we had no one in Parliament? Who remembered that? And we would come on the show, myself and Caswell and Kimar and Rose and everybody else, all, Heather, Lynette Eastman. We would come on and we were championing the cause. You remember that? We were pushing, we were championing the cause. We were the sole voice of the opposition. Who remembers that? Yes, and we're not going to grow tired. No, do not get sleepy. Do not get weary. Do not get tired. So when you come on, you have a job to do. And your job is to like and share. Like and share so that the algorithm won't put us all the way down. And all the, when they report us and they tell them, when they report us, they will say, this is hate speech, right? But because you're liking it, it's going to cause because it's a computer that's doing it. So, it's not going to put us all the way at the bottom if you like. Okay, so it's important that you like the program and that you share. It's very important that you do that. It's such a blessing to be with you guys. I wait, 3 o'clock, I'm looking at the time. I'm trying to hurry and cook, to get so I can be, give you guys my undivided attention. And I learn so much when I come on, Vernon. Jacqueline Allen, we've been through so much. We've been through so much. Sir Alfred Benjamin, do you guys remember when my computer, there was one time my computer started to smoke? Oh my Lord, I've lost, I think about 3 computers being on the show. Oh my goodness, Marcia, it's not been easy, but we're here and we are about to turn the corner, people. We're about to turn the corner. The winds of change are blowing across this nation. People are beginning to connect to the message. It is happening. We are going to see some changes, folks. So don't give up. Don't you give up. Don't get weary either. Don't get weary, Cynthia Thorpe. You remember when we started, Lucinda? You remember? We started. We started with a few hundreds of people. The other night we had almost 1,700 on. Tyro Nurse, listen, folks. Something is happening. People are getting educated. They might not like all of us that's on here, but you know what, Rosemary? They're learning something. They're picking up something. And I tell you, Michael Jakes, as long as we have this opportunity, we will come on and we will speak truth. I promise you that. We're going to do our due diligence and we're going to seek to bring you truth. And when we get it wrong, I promise you, we're going to come and say, listen, we are sorry, we got it wrong. But we're going to stay committed, Pauline, Monica Drayton. Anybody tired yet? Please don't get tired. Right? Keep Caswell in our prayers. We want him to come back. We long to hear Caswell. Yes? Yes. Dale Worrell, good evening, Dale. How are you? Yes, the show will grow from strength to strength. Yes. Nigel Newton, who was with us the other night. Hello, Nigel. Thank you so much. Nigel says, greetings and victory to you in the struggle for truth and justice. I tell you, victory is ours. We've already won. The change is here, folks. It's here. Oh, my Lord. Emerson Bob, good evening. Natasha Hope, good evening. Oh, wow. Loyal daughter. Oh, Zaire Campbell. Yes, Gail Clarity. And not just for my perseverance, Gail, but for your perseverance too. Because if you don't log on, the education can't happen. The enlightenment can't happen. And tonight we are going to do this together. We're gonna have a discussion tonight, guys. After I play the anthem, we're gonna start a discussion about the schools. We're gonna show some videos, and I want you to. Normally, I have you calling in at 9 o'clock, but this week, right now, tonight, I want you to call in from after 7:30. You can call in whenever. All right. Just call in. We're discussing something and you want to chat about it, you call in. And I said 7:30. 7:30, we're going to talk about the water in St. Lucie, the TINT water. The tint water in St. Lucie is what we're going to talk about. All right. And at 8 o'clock, we're going to, from 8 till the end of the show, we're just going to deal with the schools. That's what we're going to do. Look at the schools. So we're going to first talk about the tint water. Okay. Hey, Peter King. Good to see you, Peter King, Marion Griffin. Some other people came on. Marcy. Good evening, Marcy. Good evening, Marcy. There's two Marcias, a Marcy, and three Marcias, including me, and a Marcy. Oh, my Lord. Jeanette Campbell, good evening. Emanon, good evening. JW6378, I haven't seen you in a long time. Vision Boy, good evening. Good evening. Fabian Yard, good evening. Now, the big question before we go to the national anthem is this. Have you liked and shared? Have you liked and shared? Remember, this is teamwork, and teamwork makes the dream work, all right? So we need you to work together. We are doing something. We're onto something. We are the opposition. We understand that the opposition is not just Mr. Thorne and the two opposition senators. Impossible. They can't do it all, but it needs a voice of the people. All of us on the outside, regardless of the party that we're associated with. I have BLP people calling me, DLP people calling me. Well, and I want to hear from the other parties. Why don't we hear from the other parties? We want to hear from everybody. This is our Barbados. I'm excited. Listen, because change is here. I'm excited. I know that we're onto something. I know it. I feel it. Oh, my Lord. Let us stand now, guys, for the what? What are we standing for? We are standing for the greatest song in the world. Oh, wow. We are standing for the national anthem. It is for the national anthem. That's why we are standing. And here we go. Upward and onward. We shall go upward and onward. Let me see the thumbs up. Those of you who feel we're going upward. If you believe that we are going upward, we're going to see a better Barbados. Let me see the thumbs up. Listen, 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 listen. It's all about this. And if it's not about this, then there's a problem. There is a problem. If when we are arguing and you know, there's some people that regardless of what is happening in the country, they line up behind a color, right? They line up behind a color. And I tell you that I tell you this, that if it is not for the betterment of Barbados, we ain't lining up behind it. We are not lining up behind it. It is for the betterment of Barbados. Upward and onward we shall go. Yes, yes, yes. We will not go weary in well doing, but we shall go upward and onward. And this flag will fly very, very high all over the world. We will stand up for a better Barbados. And a better Barbados, it's when we start to treat each other better. It's not when we are trying to make the island beautiful for tourists. It's when we are making the island good for us. There are visitors. This is our home. Yes? So we are going to make the island better for us, upward and onward. And I keep telling us that we are enough. We are enough. You know, I have to say this before I go into thanking everybody. I have to make this comment here. Can I just make this comment? I hear people talking, you know, they said, my goodness, you know, thank God Mr. Thorne knows the law and he was able to talk to us about the tint, right? People said, oh, you know, they listen to Verla is so intelligent, you know, and I want to say, as much as they are so great, both of those, and all of everybody who's, you know, Caswell and Kimar, and we marvel at Kimar and at his age and what he's doing, and we love Caswell and all of these speakers and Rose and everybody that comes on. But there's so many more people like them all over Barbados, you know. Yes, there is you. I tell you, we are enough, you know. We are enough. We don't need anybody to tell us that if they don't govern, then the Barbados cannot be governed. What nonsense. What nonsense. There's many more of us intelligent people in Barbados. This is why we know when we listen to what is happening in Barbados and we see the behavior and we see what they're producing, we can tell, we look and we can know when the government is off. As the citizens, we knew when she said we want money. We know something is wrong. A prime minister not supposed to speak like that. We know. We might not have known the law about the fines, but in ourselves, we knew something was wrong. And I tell you, somebody was going to research it. Somebody was going to research it. Don't you ever believe that it's only this particular person could ever govern Barbados. There's nobody else they try to say, who is going to do it if this person doesn't do it? If she doesn't do it, who is going to do it? If he doesn't do it, who is going to do it? We are leaders, and they're leaders all over. Intelligent people are all over. I keep telling us, we are enough. With God on our side, we are the majority, and we can accomplish much. And, you know, yeah. I won't even answer this person because you don't even know that, let me just say something to Victor. Victor, I have invited I'm telling you, I am tired of inviting people on the show. All right. So I think next time what you need to do, Victor, is ask a question than assume. All right. Don't assume. Don't assume. All right, don't assume. Up to this week, I'm trying to get people of different views to come on the show. So it's okay. We will always have those people who, and it happens all the time, people assume that they know, right? They assume that they know, and they don't really know. Yes, Gail. Yes, Gail. Yes, Gail. You are talented enough. Don't you ever let anybody tell you that you are the only one, that they are the only one that can um do good for Barbados, and they're the only intelligent people, right? Don't you even listen to those people who think that they're the only intelligent people. And then, yeah, and that group of them, they are the only ones who could run this country. Nonsense. It's a bag of lies that they try to sell to people. Okay. Yes, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All righty, all right. We are ready for change. Now, I want to say to my good Barbadian people, the opposition, the 280,000 of you, I want to say thank you. Thank you on behalf of those that you have helped to find jobs. The people who have contacted the show, they're able to find a job. Thank you for those of you who are taking, Barbadians are taking care of Barbadians, right? The Bajan spirit is in full effect, full effect. And I want to thank you on behalf of those people. We try to keep people hidden because of their dignity, etc. They don't come on the show. We had the lady who fell in the well because her thing was already public, but we don't do that. We believe a lot in dignity. That's what Caswell. That's just how Caswell Franklin is, and that is how we continued the show, just based on that, not coming on and parading people. But realized I still need to come on and say thank you. Someone, I came on and I told you that someone needed a stove and a fridge. We got the stove. What we need now, we need a fridge, right? We need a fridge. We need a fridge. So if you have a fridge, it might not be a new fridge. It could be a new fridge. But if it's not a new fridge, make sure that it's in good working condition. All right. And please contact me 236 7000, 236 7000. If you have a refrigerator that you are no longer using and it is in good condition, it's working, you can clean it up, we will come and pick it up. I have a driver, someone again from the opposition from Barbados, who says, Marcia, I will drive around and I'll pick up the fridge and the stove and I will get it to the person who needs it. This is a full Bajan spirit. This is what this is all about. And so if you have that, I'm going to ask you to reach out to me, right? Reach out to me, please, and let me know that you have the refrigerator. Who is it for? It is for a mother who has she lives with her husband. He's working but doesn't have a steady job, and they have quite a number of children that they're taking care of. One of the child is diagnosed with a form of blood cancer, and so they're putting out everything to get that child well, and they need your assistance. So if you have a stove, I mean a refrigerator that it's in good working condition, and you're no longer using it, you can call us. We need also a refrigerator for there's a lady who feeds the homeless, and her refrigerator, she called me, she said, Marcia, oh my goodness, my refrigerator stopped working. And this is where, when she gets the chickens and so on donated, there's a doctor that donates the chickens to her, and she works with different churches and they take turns. And these people, she's a pensioner, and she pulls it from her pocket. Yes, and she feeds over 100 and something people. All right. So I'm going to ask you if you all if we need two refrigerators, and you might say, Marcy, you come asking for two refrigerators. I'm asking because sometimes you end up. I remember there was a time we got two refrigerators. And we were able to give one. Then some years ago, someone said, "Marcia, here's a refrigerator. You might need one for the school, but we already had one." So that might be you. You might have a refrigerator that you're not using and it's in good condition. You probably buy something nicer or whatever the case might be. You might have a set of apartments and you're no longer renting those apartments, or you're changing out appliances. If you know a hotel that might have those kind of appliances that might be able to help. This again, the Bajan spirit. The Bajan spirit is one of giving, and that's what you have been doing. And so we need two refrigerators. Remember, we came on and we asked for a wheelchair. Well, we need another wheelchair. Okay, but we need the wheelchair this time that the person can actually push themselves and not, they don't have to be pushed. Okay, right. If you have a refrigerator and it can be fixed, then find out how much it is to fix it, Tammy. Reach out to me. Let's make this happen for this family. All right, let's make it happen for the family. Okay, people. So we need two refrigerators and we need another wheelchair. Two refrigerators and another thing. And it's for a good cause. It's not people who sit at home and not doing anything. One is for a lady that has, she has quite a number of children, and one of them has a form of blood cancer. The father is working but not getting a steady job, and so they need a little help to get them over. All right, they've written to Kirk Humphrey, and he's trying to help them, but he's saying that he doesn't have enough resources because, as you can know, the welfare recipients or welfare, the demand for welfare, according to Mr. Humphrey, based on what I've read, is that it's quadrupled, right? Because of all the IMF, all of the austere measures have caused it to quadruple, right? So, right, we have a lot of people who are not doing well financially, and they need our support. And we are exhibiting that Bajan spirit and saying we are going to help our brothers and sisters. We're not going to just sit down and ask government. Yes, Mr. Humphrey, and you know what? Mr. Humphrey actually does a pretty good job in responding to people. Yes, I know that some people complain and so on. Nobody's perfect. But let me tell you something. He does try. But the resources are low. Resources are low in this country, even though we are borrowing so much. Those are some of the issues that we have. Those are the issues that we have, and those are the things that what we come on the program and we speak about, because there's so much borrowing and we can't see how it's helping our people. So yes, we're going to demand more of the government, but we're going to also help each other. All right. Right. So guys, please. So we need, and the next one is for someone who feeds the homeless. The homeless population is growing. The homeless population is growing, people. And this pensioner takes out of her money. She lives with her daughter, and the two of them, they pay for 1 week, and then there's somebody else paid for another week, and that's how they do it to cover the 4 weeks of the month. But the refrigerator is down. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to ask you, folks, that help. You help, continue to help. You always, right? You always, and as we said, it's this incompetent government. This is the worst government, the worst. We've never seen so much poverty in this country. Never seen so much poverty in this country. and we've never borrowed more. Isn't that something else? Mismanagement of funds, where the funds are put. We're going to talk about the schools tonight, and you're going to see what we're talking about. Where the funds are put. Mismanagement, don't know their right foot from their left foot, their right hand from their left hand, just not able to get it done. Incompetent. I agree with you, Ramin. Yes, CD. Too much funds allocated to international travel. We just saw the PM was here when she said she wanted money. You remember that? Wanted money and come up with this bogus way of getting it, trying to put wool over our eyes to trick us as she always does, and talking about how we will have to pay penalty. Thank God for Mr. Thorne in bringing us that understanding that she has no legal authority to do that. None. But the usual thing is that she tries to put wool over her eyes and give us Kool-Aid to drink. But guess what? We are waking up. We are waking up, and no longer do we believe that only Mia Mottley can run this country, because if that is the case, oh, good Lord. Lord help Barbados. Lord help Barbados. And she came and she gave the press conference, sat down for a photo op with the crime fighting team, the council that she's put together, and the next thing she was gone. She was gone. And it seems to me that it was her dream to become prime minister, but she realized that she's doing a terrible job of it, and she no longer wants the job. And she really needs to give it to somebody else. I believe that even people in her cabinet might be able to do a better job than Miss Mottley. She's just not capable. Just not capable. How on earth do you just come up and say something like that without even looking at the laws? That means you don't even know how to govern the country. You don't understand the laws of the country. We've been a republic for how many years, and there's no Republican constitution. And you're going to tout your competence to me? No, I don't believe it. I no longer believe that. You're not competent. This is not, you are put in a wrong job. Square peg in a round hole. Not competent. You have not done one competent thing since you've been in office. Right? Correct, Square 4. Correct. Just look. We didn't say it. It is it is Kurt Humphrey who said it, and Kurt Humphrey is a pretty he's pretty responsive, but he just cannot do anymore. When you think of the amount of money, now anybody, any blind person, anybody can look and see that something is wrong. You are borrowing so much money. It's one thing, if you're borrowing the money and we see that you are doing things and our lives are a little better. No, look at the hospital. I'm saying, let's reason together. If you're borrowing money, why didn't you borrow some money to help with the hospital? To give us better services at the hospital? You're treating us like animals. We go to the hospital and we have to lay down on the floor. Yes. And don't tell me I'm exaggerating. Up to today, I spoke with a businesswoman and she said, Marcia, let me tell you something. You don't want to be sick and go to the hospital. She was just there with her father, and the wait. When you go to the hospital, you're waiting 2-3 days. And you're borrowing so much money. And you're paying so many consultants. You're incompetent. You just cannot do the job. We're not accustomed to this kind of incompetency. No, it has never happened in Barbados like this before. Never. The borrowing at every minute, this woman is either borrowing or begging. She is either borrowing or begging. You mean to tell me you run up you go into take these private jets and all of that the fuel that you're using up, Miss Champion, climate champion, using up and all you're with your hand out and talking about we're so progressive and you're begging? You should be ashamed, really. You should be ashamed. Correct. Yeah. So this is something that we really need to to see where we are at. And I think that I think that's what we're seeing happening. We're seeing happening, and out of that, good has come. We've come on the show, and people say, "Oh, you guys come and complain." No, that's not what Bajans are doing. Not on this show. Not on this show. Out of this show, we've started something called Elevated for Life, which is a school leavers program for those who are leaving school between 16 and 16 to 18. And because a lot of our people, do we realize that they're leaving school and they cannot read? They can't read. Now, one would think if we're going to be borrowing money and so on, let's put some money into proper programs. Let's reason together, Barbados. Let's put money into proper programs that's going to help our young people and help our children. I don't understand. This is not the Barbados that we know, where people are graduating from school, graduating. They put on cap and gown and can't read. We came on this show and we spoke about it. And guess what? A team of you have come together, past retired teachers. Yes. Qualified people, I tell you, very qualified. Have come together, put hands together, put knowledge together, and have come up with this program. We come on and we talk about crime and violence, and we're going into the communities. We're not a talk shop. We don't come and sit down and we just talk and that's it. We're not a talk shop. Yeah, correct, Emanon. Every time there's a problem, she goes to consultants. And I do understand that as a leader, you don't have to have all the competencies. You don't have to have all the knowledge. You don't have to have all the skill, but all the time. And the things that you come up with, it seems like you came up with it on the spot. About TINT. You came up with it on the spot. You didn't even go and read the legislation. You did not study it. Did you discuss it with all of those that were sitting among you? They looked bored. They looked like they didn't know what you were talking about. And if you ask me, my opinion, to me, I think that Attorney General is pretty annoyed because while she's off jetting away, he had to come and correct her mess because Ralph exposed it to the public. Mr. Thorne exposed it to the public, and she had to now come and clean up. He had to come and clean up her mess. I'm here to say to you, Barbados, this Prime Minister is incompetent. This is not for her. She has good people skills. She's very good at connecting with people, right? And she can work a room. She's a networker. Give her that to do for Barbados, but not to be the Prime Minister. She's doing a poor job. And regardless of which party you voted for, don't be ashamed. Don't feel bad that you voted for her and you believed in her. A lot of us believed in her because she talks a good talk. And this is what we have to understand. Don't you ever do that again. You just vote for somebody because they can speak well. Yeah? Okay. So I just wanted to just to get that off of my chest. Because I hate when we put ourselves down and say, and we think that and we put ourselves down and we think that nobody else can do the job, right? Nobody else is able to do the job because we have the best person doing the job. Yes, Dale, I hate it. That's nonsense, complete nonsense. It's propaganda, and it was sold to us, and we bought it. That's all it is marketing. We bought it. We believe it, but it's not so. It is not so. And I say to us, let's choose wisely because she's not done. And those of you who are write something on here that she's done from start to finish. Be honest. Write something that under this, they have started and finished, and it's done properly. I can't think of one. I know there have been good ideas, but they have not moved from good ideas. Right? So the issue with the skills training, can I tell you with that? Let me look at my phone here because that's the thing about it. So the skills training, which started under some other government, I'm not sure exactly who started that, but which it doesn't even matter. You came into government and you see something, it's working, build on it and make it better. All right. But can I read something to you here about the skills training? And this is what I'm talking about, because I come on here and you think I'm just making it up, right? So you just hang on. I'm gonna find something here to read to you about the skills training. All right. And then we're gonna go talk about St. Lucie. Somebody said if we don't care about St. Lucie, of course we do, and we will be going into St. Lucie. That's what we're going to talk about very soon. But I want to read to you something here, right? It says, "Good morning. I attend skills training in Silver Sands." Listen to this, Carmela Charles. "Good morning. I attend skills training in Silver Sands. We are supposed to receive a stipend every 2 weeks of 250. Tell me why. For over the last 6 weeks, we were here. We were only paid once. There are people having to spend $100 a week in just bus fare alone, and they can't tell me when I will be paid." Now, I'm saying if you have a program, I say Shaquan is coming in. I'm giving her a moment for her to settle. Because we're going to talk about St. Lucie. We're going to talk about the water issue, the tint water in St. Lucie. But while I'm waiting on Shaquani to join, can I ask you something? Think about it. We have a problem with crime in this country, with gun violence. Our young men are, involved in activities that's threatening all of our lives. And here is a program, skills training, that will help the young people when they leave school, give them a skill so they can find a job, etc. Between you and I, let's all of us, there are almost 700 of us on here. Let us reason together. Let's reason together and tell me what you really think. Do you think that if I am very serious about crime prevention and I'm serious about young people, that I would have young people at skills training that need to get a little stipend so they can get the bus fare and the lunch money to come and get a skill? And they would be there for more than a month and not given the stipend that they're supposed to get. if somebody does something like that, would you believe that they care about crime prevention? They care about young people? Think about it. This is why a lot of people, I wish them well with the advisory council, and I wish she will accept the advice of the advisory council. But what I am on crime, I am saying is this: how, how, how you could blow up $60 million in the whole project? How you could just spend 50 million on cricket World Cup and we see no benefit from it? How you could spend up all this money? You spend money in millions, and these students are here, and you can't give them the $250 that you said you're going to give those children. You don't think they're going to be disillusioned? You and I would know we need to take care of those young people. You and I would know that. And it is the same government that is now saying that we need to get skilled workforce into Barbados. And guess what? They're planning now to increase the population and to get people. They want to bring people skilled workforce in. You should be ashamed of yourselves that you're now saying that you're going to have to import these people when there are people here at skills training that you refuse to put aside money. You understand what I'm saying? Does it make sense what I'm saying? I am saying if you are borrowing so much money and you have young people who want to learn a skill, you promise them, listen, come to classes and we will pay your bus fare and we will give you a little lunch money. And you refuse to do that. You won't even give those young people what you promised them. My goodness. If I'm here and a young person says to me, or even Miss McLean, I can tell you that I want to work. I need a job. The first thing I said, send me your CV. What are your skills? And we're going to try every way for that person to gain a livelihood. Dave will tell you, I would skip over the moon for those young people, because you can't be saying one thing and doing the next. I don't know about the history of it. Springtime says here, did the BLP laugh at the former PM when he spoke about the stipend for the youth at skill training? I don't know. I can't comment on that. But I'm just saying, you came and found a program and it is supposed to help young people make it better, please. Shakwani, please indicate to me if you can hear me and if you are ready. Yes, right. So I want to hear your comment on that with the skills training. However, they have money and they're giving away money for karaoke, and they invite people to pets and give them food, but skills training to teach them something with their hands. I have it here. The young people are complaining, and that this is not the first complaint I got. This is not the first. But there was so much happening with the crime, I didn't get to mention it. They're not being given the bus fare and the lunch money. And then you're going to come up and you're going to put an advisory for crime. You really don't need that. Just go and do the things you're supposed to do. So then these here now, they're going to get discouraged, right? And they're not going to want to go to any more skills training. They're going to be home. And somebody comes to offer them to do something else on the streets. That's how I look at it. I don't know about you. That's how I look at it. I'll tell Dave all the time, if we don't help them, somebody else is going to. And I cannot understand why you're going to use fuel and travel all around the world and your people are suffering. There's nothing you can tell me about that. Nothing. I don't want to hear anything from you. There's nothing. You see the suffering down there with those with people all over this country. People have their jobs and not even bus fare they have for their jobs to go to their jobs. Yes, thank God for the people on the show. Sometimes we collect more money for the marches and we have leftover. We have there's so many, but as I said, because of the people's dignity, we don't bring them on here and parade them in front of you. But I still wanted to say thank you to you for the Bajan spirit. Bajan spirit in full effect. And that's how we want our politicians to govern. And it is with this Bajan spirit. Let me see if some more comments are here. Dale Worrell is saying, they scoffed at it when David Thompson said there's nothing wrong with school leavers working for bus fare and lunch money until they're qualified or get the job they need. That is the care that we're looking for. I don't know if David Thompson said it, Dale Worrell is saying it, but this is a care. The person who put that in place is somebody who cares. And they come into power and won't give the children, give the young people the bus fare and lunch money. Don't say anything to me. I don't want to hear from you. I don't even watch those press conferences. I'm done with you. I'm done. So now there is correct. We are getting to you. We're gonna get to you, St. Lucie. We promise you. You're gonna hear what we have. We have something good for you, St. Lucie. Don't give up. Don't give up, St. Lucie. Come on, sir. Make the young citizens believe they should be grateful to clean up ash while jeopardizing their lives in the long term. Refuse to pay NIS for them. Correct, and refuse to give them a bathroom to use a toilet. So they're cleaning up on the street and they have to go and use a bush. That is why the lady fell inside the well. She put down her underwear to wee wee. In this day and age. And fell in a hole, fell in a well. I'm not into that kind of behavior. I'm sorry. I cannot reward that behavior. And I want to know if all of them in there, they can see that something is wrong with that kind of thinking. After that happened to her, then they start to put up the porta potties. Thank God for that. But if she didn't fall in, thank God her life was spared. They would not have the porta potties and we didn't come on here and started to make noise about it. Then they start to put the porta potties. We are demanding better from this government, right? Demanding better, right? Demanding better for our government, from our government. The people in St. Lucie, let me tell you something, people in St. Lucie. Let me bring on Shakwani here. Everybody share this with somebody in St. Lucie. We're going in on St. Lucie right now for the next half hour. And then we'll have a special show on Sunday dealing with St. Lucie. Okay? But let me just bring Shakwani Hunt in here. Good evening, Miss Hunt.
Hi, good evening, Marcia. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear, Shakwani. How
Thank
are
you
you
very much
doing?
for being on tonight. I am good. You?
I am doing great. I'm doing great. It's always great to have you on. I was waiting on you, and I was just talking with the people. I know you had another meeting, but I was having that conversation with the
Mhm.
people of Barbados tonight. But Shakwani, you contacted me I think yesterday because there's an issue on your mind. And I want people to know how this works. Because somebody says, oh, you just have certain people on the show. Listen, this young lady sent me something, I think it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
It is like, I want to say it's like God speaking to me because when I called you, when I sent you the message, you called me and told me you were going to call me to ask me what I thought about it.
Yes. Tell the
But
people what you sent me.
So yesterday I sent Marcia a revive of the water project that the Young Democrats did. We started in 2020 and continue in 2021. 2021, we would have maintained to St. Lucie, St. James Central, and also areas in St. John. The reason I decided that it was a need to restart this initiative is because I saw a lot of people complaining about the tint in the water, how expensive it is to purchase bottled water, and how difficult it is for them to just meet the everyday cost of being able to supply waters for themselves. Because when you think about it, water is essential in almost every single part of our day. From the time we shower on the morning, from the time we make our tea, cooking breakfast, something as simple as washing your clothes. When you think about it, when the pipe goes off and it comes back on, the water is brown for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking that you have to use water that is constantly brown, you have to shower with the water being brown, you have to wash with the water being brown, and they're now asking you to boil the water even though it's brown. I felt like that was a disservice to the people of St. Lucie. I felt like the government could do so much more, because if I could do more, they could do more because they have more resources. And then
Mm-hmm.
to hit a person when they're down, to make it even worse, you're even charging them for the water, even though you know it is almost impossible for them to use it in that particular manner. I know for a fact if it was coming through their saints, they would have had a solution, at least something to alleviate some of the difficulty for people in St. Lucie, and they can do something to help them.
But you know, Shakwani, as you're saying that, and this is, I'm glad you presented it in such a way where you
Mhm,
said if it was then, what you have to understand, what I
mhm.
have learned to understand, come to understand that a lot of the those who are upper middle class people in Barbados, they don't even drink the tap water here,
Mhm.
even in the communities that don't have tint water. Okay,
Yes.
they don't drink the regular tap water. You know, people that have money in this country, and I believe it is because there are people that, you know, they're thinking about themselves and their friends. Because I didn't even realize that a lot of wealthy people don't drink the tap water in Barbados. You knew that, Chakwani?
Yes, most of them either have bottled water or they will have like minimal water or sparkling water in their fridge. So for them, it is not a
Mm,
necessity
yes.
because they're drinking bottled water. Even if you go to some households, you will recognize that they're cooking with bottled water. So they're purchasing enough bottled water to cook with it. But for a household who is already struggling, thinking about pensioner, and you're only getting $300 every week. And they now have to take out a portion of that money to purchase bottled water for drinking, bottled water for cooking, and then you may need some kind of collection of water for showering and stuff like that. Yes, they do have community tanks, but when you live in the country, sometimes it's very, very difficult to get to community tanks. I remember going in St. Lucie around 2021, where we had older people who said they had to pay people to go and collect water for them because the tank was so far from her house. She had to go uphill to get it and then bring it back down. She was in no position
Wow.
to
So,
walk to get the water.
so you're saying that even in the cases where they bring the tanks, where
Mm-hmm.
you have to go uphill. But let's all of us in the other parishes.
Mm-hmm.
Someone actually said that St. Peter benefited from this bottled water, and I sent Dave a flyer. Dave can,
Yes.
but I want all of us,
Mm-hmm.
everybody in the other parishes, okay? Because St. John has an issue as well, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let everybody else stop and think about that. Think about going to your water, your tap, and this is what you see coming out of the tap. Regular.
Mm-hmm.
I had a student in St. Lucie and I spoke with her, and I couldn't believe she had to go and turn on the tap for me. Shakwani, we had class online. I
Mm-hmm.
could not believe her because, sometimes people exaggerate. And she
No.
told me, she said, Marcia, Mrs. Weeks, she called me Mrs. Weeks, I have to set aside money budget to buy bottled water. And I cook with bottled water, she told me.
Mm-hmm. So when you think about it, it is an additional expense onto the already expensive bill when you go to the supermarket. It's not like they're getting money back from the government to assist with the purchasing of bottled water. So this is something they normally wouldn't have to budget for, but now you have to budget for at least a case or two a week. Because I know other areas where the water isn't wrong, but they can't drink water from the pipe either. I know people who are in St. Peter who can't drink pipe water because the water is extremely salty. The water is almost white when it comes from the pipe.
Really?
Every day they take bottles from home, take them by their family in St. Michael, fill them up, and then take them back home on the evening. They do that to help cut down the cost of purchasing bottled water because there's not every time you will be able to afford to purchase a case of bottled water. Because when you think about people eating healthy and just the day to day, we are told we should be drinking more water. How can a person drink more water when the conditions to drinking water at home they can't live with those conditions because they can't drink water from the pipe?
Well, Clow Hall is saying here that
Mm-hmm.
there are community tanks, Clow Hall, community tanks in some parishes which are no longer needed as the water situation has improved. Why can't government move those and make more tanks available to the people in St. Lucie? That's something that if it is true, that's something that we can that should be is a good question to ask, because it's all about management,
Mm-hmm.
and seeing what is happening,
I
right?
think that is a good suggestion, but what I want Claude to know is that this was an issue that they would be dealing with since 2021. The government every year could have purchased additional tanks and keep adding them in different locations, spreading them around, say, 60 feet or 120 feet, so from each one. So by now, in 2024, there should be a surplus of tanks so that they could fix the whole system one time. Because it is not good enough that some people are getting water and then some people are paying for water that they can't use. And I know in St. John, when they had the issue where they weren't getting any water at all in St. John, but they were paying for water still, they were able to right we were able to get a form to them where they were able to put a petition, submit it to water authority, and water authority on their site, I think at that time, but I would have to confirm, if you weren't getting a certain amount of cubic meters through your pipe, they couldn't charge you. And I remember from the time we had that press conference in St. John and we were pushing that initiative, but that was the Saturday, but the Monday people had water flowing through their pipes. So the minimum they were getting, so then it ended up that they still had to pay. So if they can make arrangements for a cubic meter of water, a percentage of a cubic meter of water that requires people to pay, that means that if a person is getting water that they can't use at all, they should be able to deduct something off of their bill, because how can you charge me for something that I can't actually use? Because
And so, Shakwani, let me just say something there. Listen carefully to what Shakwani is saying. Shakwani is saying that they advocated for the people, they, and who is they? And someone here is saying these are the young Democrats who came to the rescue of the St. John residents when they were plagued with water woes for a year or more. And right, so here's somebody who's saying that happened, but the young people came together and tried to help the people of St. John.
And I want
You
to
hear
say
what I
we
tell
did
you?
not listen to me, Marcia. We did not do it alone. That initiative with St. John at that time, Andre was pushing the initiative forward on his own, and then we recognized we need to do something, and we came up with this water project. At that time, I think Kimar was the
You mean
president of the Young
Andre
Democrats.
Warren, who is a senator now?
Yes,
So he
Senator
lives in
Andrew
St.
Warren.
John.
He lives in
Andre
St.
Warren
John.
lives in St. John. Okay,
Yes,
continue.
he does live in St. John. And I want you to know, when we first ran this project back in 2020 and 2021, we got donations from everybody. I have people that were BLP people messaging me and telling me, okay, I'm going to send you 4 cases every single week, because I believe in this initiative. We need to do our part. What I will say is that the government then they did turn around and started to do water initiatives as well, where they were distributing. And I thank them for joining the initiative, because the reality is that they needed to do their part, and I think now they need to step back up to the plate and start to distribute bottled water into the community, because they did it previously, they can do it again. They need to set aside a budget for this, because it is not good enough that you're telling me that I need to boil my water at home that I am paying you for, so that I might be able to drink it. How did they know that when they drink it that water is safe? Because they actually don't know. You're now asking them to risk something, because you're not even telling them how long they're supposed to boil the water for. What is the time period? How do they know at which point of the boiling stage is the safest stage to drink, use, or cook with it? Because it is not good enough that at, I guess, around 4 p.m. in the evening, they get a notice saying, oh, the residents in St. Lucie will need to boil the water so that they can use it. No. Even if that is contaminated water.
Shakwani, this is
Uh-huh.
so interesting. I mean, I commend you, because I was thinking about it and saying, boy, we need to do something about this St. Lucie issue. And here it is, and I'm like, wow, it's almost like you were reading my mind. But I was thinking about something here. I'm saying, Shakwani, one of the sustainable development goals of the UN is that a certain proportion of your country needs to have running water. And I'm saying our prime minister, our leader, she is all
Mhm.
over with the UN doing, and look at what's happening to us. There's so many households here without running water, so many households that don't have an inside toilet and quick toilet, but
I
we're supposed to be this progressive nation. It's not adding up. There's something totally
Mhm.
wrong. And I want to ask those of you who are watching from St. Lucie. I saw let me see, there's a call here. Let me see if this person is calling from St. Lucie.
Mhm.
Um, oops, oops. I hope they call back. Let me set up. My thing is, why St. Lucie residents? I want to
Mhm.
ask you something. I want to ask you something, St. Lucie residents. What are you doing for yourself? Please don't take this as a rude question. I want to ask you. We started off this program saying we want to demand, we will continue to demand better from our government. We started off talking about that we're not animals. We wanted to be treated like humans. We know when we're being treated terribly. So here's the question. St. Lucie residents who are listening, there's somebody here who kept asking us to talk about St. Lucie. Where is that person going to call your Papes? Papes, are you living in St. Lucie? I'm calling on you. What are you doing for yourself? I don't hear the people from St. Lucie. I hardly hear you say anything. How could you be living like this and paying water bill? Have you all ever come together and decided you're not paying any water bill? I want to pause a little, Shakwani, and speak to
Mhm.
the people of St. Lucie, my
No.
fellow Barbadians who live in St. Lucie. I saw Mrs. Strickland. Mrs. Strickland, are you from Mrs. Strickland, are you from St. Lucie? What is the game plan here, Stephen Strickland? Stephen Strickland says sorry he had to go catch a water truck in this age, so he lost part of the program.
Not only at this age, at this time is 8 p.m. So if
It's
you had a
8 p.m.
child and you're preparing them for bed and stuff like that, you now have to keep them up to wait for the truck to get there.
The question is, okay, so my number is okay, let's put up the number on the screen. Dave, can you organize for me? Yes, I got it here. Call in. This I wanted to call in, guys, and let's talk about this. If you're from St. Lucie, I want to hear from you. Are you from St. John? Are you from St. Peter? I want to hear from you. What is happening there? What is happening? And what are your plans? Why are you paying water bill for tint water? Okay, someone is calling. Good night.
Good night, Marcia.
Yes, one second. Let's see. Good night. Speak again, please. Good night. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Good night. Okay, I'm hearing the person. Okay, the call ended. Let's see. Oh, come on. Don't act up tonight now. We want to hear the people. We want to hear the people tonight.
It's 8:11 p.m. To hear your notification, follow the notification on your phone to turn on notification access.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Can you go ahead and tell us about the initiative that you have while we work out the technical issues to make sure that the calls can come in?
Okay, so this is how you can assist. If you have a case of water, you can purchase a case of water. You can drop it off at George Street Auditorium. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, you could call the number 823-8946, and that is my personal number. And you can call me, and I can collect it from you and drop it off.
Yes, give me a second, please. The caller is back. Hello, caller. Can you turn down your the device you're listening on? Thank you so much for calling.
I'm on the landline. I had that turned off.
Okay.
So turn it back on.
Yes.
What she said, and as it turned off, she said, continue Shaquan until we can get the technical part solved.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful. So we are hearing you now. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show. Gone again. All right. Go ahead. Continue, Shaquani.
Right. So every donation counts. Don't think that anything is too small, because
Give me a
why
second.
also
Shaquani, they're back. I'm so sorry. Good night, sir. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show. Good night. Good night and welcome to the Marcia Week Show. All right, there's something is wrong. I can hear them, but yes, continue, Shaquani. I'm sorry about that. Keep going.
no, that is definitely okay. Oh, Marcy is still here. What I was saying is that every donation counts, because every donation will count to the people in St. Lucie when we go there. What I want people to understand is not only cases of water we're looking to get, or the large bottles we're looking to get, we're also looking to get jugs. So if you go to the bottle place, you can also purchase the gallon bottle jugs from there, because what some of the people in St. Lucie actually also need is water that they can wash their hands with, they can flush the toilet with. Water that, because for some people they may not get water in the place at all. I don't know if that is the situation for everyone, but as you go into different areas, the what is happening to the water may vary. So not everybody may have the same tinted water. Some people may not have water. So what we did last time, based on the community, we always touch base with people in that particular area, that we would go into that area before we went, so we would know what exactly the situation was like. And then we would always plan to go on a Saturday and start the distributions at one community at a time. By doing this, it allowed us to directly interact with every person in the household. And even if it was just one case we were able to give, we gave one case. And then we also gave buckets if we had buckets, because we also collect buckets. And we were able to give water that they can wash their hands with, water they can wash their hair with. And that is what we use the gallon bottles for. So when I say everything counts, it counts because that is a week they don't have to purchase that case of water. They can use that money to do something else, or they can use that money to put down so it can roll over to the next week. when something like this happens in society, we need to come together. We need to look past politics, and we need to be able to come together as a community and help everybody. Like I said last time I got donations from people who weren't even in my party, who didn't support the DLP at all, but they supported the initiative. They understood what it stood for, and they understood why they needed to be a part of it. And we need every single person to come and participate. And if you want to assist with the distribution, I have nothing against that as well. We're looking to go into St. Lucie on Saturday. What I will do, as soon as I have the exact location, which locations we're going first, I will share that flyer to Marcia. So on the other program, she'll be able to share it to you so that you would know. And what we want to know as well, if you know about any elderly people who you know cannot get the water for themselves, like going to the community tanks, that is something that you can always share that information with Marcia, so we can reach out to them directly and take them to the house, because them themselves would need assistance in a different way, where people would have to go to them more frequently to deliver water. We need to remember that a lot of elderly people live in some of these communities, and some of the houses are located very, very deep in the country and off of the main road. So sometimes they're not able to come out on their own. So we may need to go in to assist them. So what I'm going to say, check in on your elderly family who's living in communities like St. Lucie. And then last night when I sent out this flyer to revive this program again, someone reached out to me and told me, well, St. John is also having an issue with water, where they're not getting water again, and sometimes the water is very brown coming through the pipe. And they were experiencing that for roughly 4 weeks. And I know there's a lot of programs that the government is now currently rolling out to assist different initiatives in terms of like climate change and stuff like that. And I think one of those initiatives can definitely grant assistance to the people in St. Lucie to help with the purchasing of bottled water, the assistance with even paying the bill, if that is what they're going to decide to do. Because in my mind, I think they could just scrap paying the bill. And I see a lot of people asking, why are the people in St. Lucie still paying the bill? Because think about it, a strain should not have water running through your pipes. I remember in St. John, when we encountered a person and they said water authority told them they would turn off the water if they don't pay the bill. And the lady told them, well, I don't have water currently, so there's nothing to turn off. So I'm comfortable if you come and disconnect me because I don't have water. But you see, in that situation now, that resident was able to stand up for herself and decided not to pay water. They did disconnect her, but she didn't feel a way because she felt that even if they disconnected her, there was nothing that she was getting either way. So it was a win for her. It was a bill she didn't have to cover, but she shouldn't have to do that. What the government should do, they can hear the residents complaining, they can see it in the paper. The ministers also have to be hearing the complaints because they have not community centers, they have their offices in the community. And if those offices are functioning, they should at least be alleviating some of this difficulty. I don't know what they're doing, but they need to. When people vote for you, you have a responsibility to assist them and to help them, because that is what you gain by winning your seat. Regardless of who voted for you, you need to assist every single person. And I think that this water issue is a national emergency. How do you expect people to live, to carry on their everyday life with one, no water that they can drink, and then you're asking them to pay for the water that they can use? It's ridiculous. It is unreasonable. And the government needs to realize that this is a priority and they need to get it fixed extremely quickly because it is not good enough.
Chakwani, I'm listening to you. You're a young person speaking about this particular issue, and it's not something that you just got up last night and decided that you're going to do. This was a project that you've worked on for a number of years, and you're just reviving it. You are one of those
Yes.
that worked on it years ago, and there was somebody even in the comment section from St. John that was commending you all and thanking you all for the this water project that you guys started. Someone said in St. Peter that they benefited from the water project in St. Peter as well. And I'm saying you are here a young person. I don't hear anybody, any of those in Parliament that are advocating for anything of this sort. I'm saying if you had $60 million that just disappeared, $60 million just disappeared. So I'm saying why can't we put a little bit into something? Is it so impossible to do?
It is
That's the
not.
thing.
It is not impossible. It is basically what they want to do. They choose what projects they want to work on. They choose how they want to prioritize the money. So they need to choose the people of St. Lucie. Basically, they need to choose them.
Yes. I think there's a caller. Good night, caller.
Good night. I'm just calling to say that everyone in St. Lucie should boycott the Barbados Water Authority and do not pay them a cent.
I agree with you. Or do you live in St. Lucie?
No, I don't.
You don't. And so I thank you so much for calling. And that is the challenge that I have. And that's why I want to speak to the people of St. Lucie tonight, because I tend to agree with you.
I think they should all call in and they should all boycott.
They should boycott the Barbados Water Authority on a serious level. Not now, not last week, but from the all
they all should turn up in Bay Street at the Prime Minister's office with buckets. Then she would understand. Good night and have a wonderful night, Marcia.
I agree. Thank you, caller, for calling. Thank you. Listen, I am in agreement with the caller. How many of you, there are over 700 of you on here tonight, how many of you agree that the people of St. Lucie need to boycott the Barbados Water Authority? No payment of bill, and they need to do a protest with buckets, empty buckets. How many of you believe that? Put that in the chat, please. Give us a thumbs up. There's another call coming in. Pleasant, good night. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
I live in St. Lucie.
You live in St. Lucie. Do you have clean water coming out of your tap or tint water?
No, I don't have clean water. I bought a case of water up this morning.
You bought a case of water up to this morning. Now, just is it your family is a big family?
It's my wife, 2 grandchildren, and her mother.
Right. Okay. Wow. Your wife, you have 2 grandchildren and her. So there are 4 of you in the family.
Five.
Yes, including yourself. Yes, sir. Yeah, very good. Now let me ask you, how many cases of water do you buy per week?
I buy at least 2 cases of water per week. Cause my grandson, one is 11 today and one is 9, and they don't drink water from the tap. They can't drink water from the tap.
They can't drink it.
Even when you boil it, it doesn't taste. It still tastes like it has chlorine in it.
Yes. There's somebody here. Chloe Hall says lots of things need to be boycotted in Barbados, but Bajan.
But there's no unity among the people. That's the problem. We need to get together and boycott. Everybody in Barbados is afraid of what is going to happen if they come out.
What do you think is going to happen if you come out? Say, for example,
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of what is going to happen. I need to have proper water to drink. I'm a sick person. I am a dialysis patient.
Wow. This is awful.
I need proper water to drink. You understand?
So 1 case of water, pardon me, how much is a case of water? I used to buy it. I don't remember.
A case of Chapel Hill water is $33.40.
Yes.
A case of Wesley is $25 and change, $25 and change.
Yes.
So you don't always buy. You buy the cheapest one where you can afford it. Where you can't afford it, you buy the Wesley.
Right.
Which is cheaper.
Right. So then you're spending about $50 a week on drinking water.
on drinking water.
Right. So that works out to be about $200 or more a month.
Exactly. Sometimes the water tank comes around. Sometimes it don't.
Right. So let me ask you, how much do you pay per month to Barbados Water Authority?
$150.
No, you think that this is right?
No.
You think that this is right, sir? You are paying for Barbadians. I want you to stop and think because a lot of times, you know what? Come on, let's put on our Bajan spirit tonight. Let's be who we are. Let's be. Things are hard and tough for people, and he's paying. This gentleman is paying $200 a month for bottled water and still paying $150 to the Barbados Water Authority for his water bill. That's a total of $350. Do you think that that is right? Do you think that that is fair? So, sir, my question is what's the solution to this problem?
The solution is that we need to get together, and the member of parliament needs to, the same way that David Simmons went to parliament and got money for the people in Thomas. The member of parliament needs to go to the government and challenge them to for we to stop paying water until we get better water.
And you are waiting on.
I'm not waiting. I'm waiting for us to get together.
Right, because
I'm not waiting on the member of parliament. I'm waiting for the Sanusi people to join together and you say we're not going to pay the water bill until we get better water.
and you think the reason they have not come together is all these long years. The reason that they have not come together is because they're fearful of this government.
I believe so.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, let me tell you, I'm really hoping that others will hear you, and as you said, you are not afraid to stop paying, but you need to be able to do it together.
Exactly.
What's the population of St. Lucie? How many houses? Anybody know?
They have about 7,000 people. They have 7,000 voters in St. Lucie. Over 7,000 voters in St. Lucie.
7,000 voters.
Yeah.
7,000 voters. 7,000 voters. And do you know the minister who is in charge of water? Who that person is?
The person in charge of water is the Honorable Mayor Amar Motley.
Correct. Who is right now on a plane or somewhere in Europe somewhere. That's where the minister in charge of water is. This is what we're trying to say to Barbadians. So regardless of what party you voted for, it's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I am not a member of any party.
mhm.
I believe that we should be treated properly as Barbadians, whether you vote for BLP, DLP, or whatever party.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Understand? It is not fair to the people in St. Lucie. They came and they changed, they swapped out the pipes, but it's no different.
Yes, yes, yes. So they need to pay attention to it and not treat you as animals. Water is a right. You have a right to clean water, sir. And plus you are paying taxes. In addition to that, you are paying your water bill for water that you're not getting. So well, thank you
Exactly.
so much for calling, and
No problem.
I'm going to keep your number and we will talk. Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Shaquan, you heard that caller. He is paying basically $350 a month in water.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. Oh my
Think about
goodness.
it. I don't think what people may be thinking about also is that some people actually have to take their clothes to the laundromat because if you
Oh,
wash your
that's another
clothes in
expense.
if you wash your clothes in discolored water, they may just be that they get damaged. And I saw in the paper where this guy was holding up a towel or some kind of cloth in the newspaper and showing all the brown stains in it. So the cost will add up, especially where they have to do something. Because imagine his household if he had to take everyone in his household's clothes to the laundromat to wash them, or if they have to wash the clothes by bottled water, because these children can't go to school with brown uniforms. That will
Yes.
impact them. So I think it is unfair for the minister, well, unfair for the prime minister, one, to not assist them in removing the fee for water for the residents who cannot use their water. And I think it is ridiculous that the MP for that area is not doing more for his residents, because he has to be reading the paper. It was on the front, it was in the paper. They were complaining. It is not only here on the Marcia Week
There's
show. People
another
are
call coming in,
okay, no
Shaquani.
problem.
Yeah. Good night, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Week show.
Good night. I was trying to get on before.
Before, yes, I realize. Are you hearing the person, Shaquani?
Yes, I can hear. They said they were trying to
Yes,
get on.
right. Just speak up a little bit more,
Okay,
or turn
okay,
off your
sorry
phone.
about
Thank
that.
you.
My name is Stephen Strickland, and
Oh,
I'm a
Mrs.
resident.
Strickland. Is
Right,
this
yes.
the same Strickland that I know?
Yes, the same Strickland that you know.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Yes. Yes, sir.
This matter in St. Lucie, unfortunately, has been being played out as partisan politics.
Mm.
I'm not about the partisan politics, so it is not how long it was happening for us to cast blame on any person,
Yes.
but this is about human beings. As I just posted,
Mm-hmm.
only last Friday night, I stopped a truck because it was about 2 weeks that I had not seen a truck in my gap, which is a cul-de-sac. And this was after almost 9 o'clock Friday night. When I finally was able to get him to come to my home, I had 2 buckets and over 30 bottles of water. Because you're looking at a situation where I have 6 persons in my home,
Mm-hmm.
all adults, no children. So we have to use water for cooking, the whole work, because we cannot afford to buy all of that bottled water, and water is essential. And I am of the, for a long while, I've been hearing individuals saying that it's the water mains. That's a joke, because the water mains from Sealer to River Bay were changed about 10 or so years ago.
Mm-hmm.
The only about a couple of weeks ago, about 2 months ago, on Water Wednesday, there was a filtration system which was displayed, which had just arrived, as it were, in the island. And it might have the well at Allendale. One of the senior persons at Water Authority
Mm-hmm.
is a guy called Alex. I can't remember his surname, but he is from St. Lucie.
Yes.
So that there is no way that the problem is the water main. The problem is that well.
It's a
at
well.
Allendale, because
What
I
about the
would
well?
challenge-
What about the well?
right, I would challenge anyone to examine the water for the residents in Allendale, because if the residents in Allendale
Mm-hmm.
are getting brown water,
Yes.
it's right next door to the well. It can't be the water main. We can excuse those in Connaughton where I live. We can excuse those in Pike Corner, which are distant from Allendale. But there's
Ah.
no way. I mean, I don't know about others, but we in St. Lucie, we are not stupid, we are not dumb. Okay? We analyze things. And therefore, I challenge anyone to tell me that it's not the well. Because if you are telling me that you brought in a filtration system which was designed overseas for this particular well, it means there's a problem in the well. Either there is an area where, because wells have caves. If you dig a well in St. Lucie, there are caves where water can come through at the side from different areas and go into the well.
Okay.
So if there's a situation where the water is going straight down through the earth, through the limestone, into the aquifer, then it means that all the water is filtered. But if water is able to get into that well, other than through the the, the limestone, it means that dirty water is always getting into that well. And therefore, I challenge and I would want that someone comes and explain to me, not to us, explain to me why, and don't bring the whole thing about the name. You want the same thing. So
Mhm.
I think the time has come for us in St. Lucie to march. And I am willing and ready to march and advocate for everyone in St. Lucie to march because we refuse to pay our water bills. At the same time, it's a situation where we're not going to get very much action after a period of time because they're going to take long before they cut our water off. But if we march, then it means that there is a direct intervention and they know for certain that we are serious. We either march in St. Lucie, we march on Bay Street, we march wherever. And I am going to be at the forefront to make sure that we, the residents of St. Lucie, are get proper representation. I'm not talking about parliamentarians. I'm talking about proper representation by those in authority to make sure that we are treated equal like
Yes.
any other citizen of this country. So, Marcia, I have always admired your work. As I said, once you're coming to St. Lucie, call me and I'll meet you at the border of St. Lucie.
Yes, yes, we're coming to St. Lucie. We are. But what I want to see though, Mr. Strickland, if we could get there's 7,000 adults in St. Lucie, 7,000 people of voting age in St. Lucie, and I mean we need to, even if it's a quarter of those people, need to be ready to come out. We can't be leaving our homes to come down there and they don't care. You see what I mean, Mrs. Strickland?
No, I appreciate what you said because I was at North Stars a couple of Sundays ago when the Commission on Crime was brought to North Stars. And I stood up and I spoke because I will always speak up for anything that I consider to be important for my country. And therefore, I'm always willing and I will do all in my power to get as many persons in St. to be present once the time and the date is given, and we have and I have enough time to canvass across the Lucy for persons to come out to march. And this is not about party. This is not about party. This is not about the
Yes.
DLP, not the BLP. This is about we, the people of St. Lucie. And therefore, I would want that whether whichever political party a person is affiliated with, that they would represent themselves and their children, especially us as adults, represent ourselves and our children. So
Yes,
that is
sir.
really what it's all about.
Yes, sir. Yes, so Mr. Strickland, for sure, I will be reaching out to you on that issue. I want you to stay tuned because on Sunday there's a special program that we are also going to be dealing with just water. And
Okay.
I'm going to try to reach out to you. We're trying to get some, I know the person who is working on that, trying to get some professionals, etc., to come on for us to have this conversation, right?
Thank you very much.
So we're not leaving this. You know how we operate. So we're going to stay on this. I thank Shakwani for reaching out to me, and thank you for calling, sir. And I will be calling on you.
Thank you very much. Have a blessed night as I continue to follow the show.
Yes, sir. God bless you. Thanks for
God bless
calling.
you also.
Yes. Wow. That is that. I
Hmm.
mean, you heard that, Shakwani.
Yep, I heard that. People are tired of being treated this way and they're ready to stand up for themselves. They just need assistance.
They need assistance. Well, I hope it's assistance that they need. If you are watching from St. Lucie, we have a special show for you on Sunday. Okay, Sunday, we are dedicating that to the people of St. Lucie on Sunday. We need you to call me, come on the show. We will send you the link. Call in. It's all about St. Lucie and this water issue in St. Lucie. We have to be able to stand up. You see, Mr. Thorne stood up and he talked to us about the tint, and all of a sudden they push it back.
Yep.
You understand? We need to stand up. Professionals. If you're a professional in Barbados, you're an engineer. You deal in these kinds of things, water management, or you're into nutrition and health. Contact me, please. Professionals, we need your voice to stand up on behalf of the people of St. Lucie. Are you a professional and you live in St. Lucie? We need your voice on this issue, please. Everybody can't be afraid of ma'am. What's she gonna do to you?
I mean, you're already not getting water, so
Thank you.
how much worse could it possibly get?
This is an issue. I know Kimar had been on this water issue for a long time.
Mhm.
And I want to appeal to everybody because I know that there are people watching this show that are from different, voted in different ways. I voted for, a whole different, I voted for what, APP or something like that. I voted in so many different ways. And the only reason I'm saying that to you is that, it don't matter. It doesn't matter which party you voted for last election. A part of Barbados is hurting. You understand? It doesn't matter. As the caller said, Mrs. Strickland said, it should be water should be a non-partisan issue.
Mhm.
You can't be saying that you're going to shut your mouth because you are BLP. Come on.
What I will say, when we distribute, we don't care who you vote for. We don't care if you have on a Medicare shirt, because the reality is that if we're going to start making water political, we have a problem. We have a bigger problem than we think. We need to realize that we're dealing with people, and we need to be able to put people first. And in this particular situation, the people need water. They need water that doesn't have this tint on it.
And there's a lot of talk, and that's why I need agree with you, Shakoni, and I'm saying that we need to have some professionals on. I need people who are engineers, structural engineers, to come on. This is something that I think, for example, Solutions Barbados, the leader of that is a structural engineer. But we don't hear these people on these things. And then, you know what, Shakoni, they curse me and they tell me that I'm DLP because all the DLP people come on because they contact me.
But that is not. It is not that the DLP people come on. Is that we are standing up. We're trying to make a difference. When I told you that I called Marcia, it wasn't that it was a plan. Like, I orchestrated it. Like, I was thinking about people that needed to know about this. That I know would know people who would either need assistance or could share the message. That's all it took. In the end, Marcia asked me if I could come on and speak to it. But I wasn't looking for opportunity to speak on the issue. I was looking for opportunity where I can get assistance to help people, whether that was just sharing the flyer so people can be aware of where they can donate, or if people want to come out and help with distribution, because that is something we would need assistance with as well.
Right, as well. You need
Every,
it.
at every single level, we would need assistance. Even getting the water down there, because I remember last time we had a truck, people use their cars, people use the back of their trucks, because we had a lot of water distribute. I think at the end of that initiative, the when we first did it, we distributed around 2,000 cases of water. And I don't think people understand how much water that was. When you think about what the person said, that was, they paid $25, roughly between 25 to $30 for a case. And all of that was through donations.
Wow.
People of
You see what I
Barbados.
tell you about the Bajan spirit? It is
Mm-hmm.
a Bajan spirit. And once again, it's not that we want to come, but because we have to ask each other to help each other because of the kind
Yep.
of leaders that we have. And so we come on the show, and you might say, but Marcy, you just ask us a two fridge. You ask for two refrigerators, and you ask for a wheelchair.
But what I
And now
will
we're
say,
asking for water. Well, the
mhm,
point is that we are in need, and so all we've got to do, all of us together, if we work together,
mhm.
you might not be able to buy. Suppose you have bottles at your house, and we could fill up bottle. Can we fill up bottles of water from our home?
Yes, because how that can work is that it would
Yes.
just be they can use it to wash their hands and stuff like that. They could wash their hands, they could wash dishes. So that water, we will always let them know, well, you don't have to drink that water, but you can use it to wash the dishes. Because think about it, something as simple as washing your dishes, you don't want to do that with the brown water either. So you need that type of water. So that's why people will also be catching water to do that and shower. So
Yeah.
yes, if
Yeah.
you
So
don't
so
have containers, that is why I suggested they can purchase the gallon bottles from a bottle place. I think sometimes those bottles are like $3 for one, maybe $2 for one. Because
oh, you
last time,
mean the big one with the
yes.
blue thing?
So
Okay.
so how the coconut water would be like, there's some like that, or the size over that, you can
Uh-huh.
purchase from bottling places and they give you covers. So you can purchase those, and I think one maybe like around $2 to $3 for one. And even that is something that can assist people, because when you get those bottles, you can fill them up, and put on the cap, and then when you cap them, then when we distribute them, we will let them know, well, we filled up these bottles, you can use this for washing hands, washing dishes. And then when the bottle is empty, they can always repurpose it and fill it back up. Because one of the main issues that we found, they needed containers to store this water. That is why we also asked for buckets. So we had reached out to
Oh.
supermarkets previously, bakeries previously, because they need containers that can store water.
Okay. You mean like the white one with the cover?
Yes, yes.
Ah. Okay.
Because
So let's break it down. Let's break it down because I'm understanding. I'm trying to understand what I
Mhm.
can do.
Yes,
So you need those big gallon bottles,
yes.
right? And we can purchase those bottles, and it's like
Yes, you can purchase those bottles at a bottling place, which is like a company who sells bottles, who sells plastic
yes,
bottles. So you will tell them you're looking to purchase a gallon bottle, and then you can purchase how many bottles you can afford. So
right.
if you can only afford what is worth of $5, that is fine. Every little bit counts, and if you do it in that way, you
So
like we have.
before you move on, so when I purchase that big bottle,
Mhm,
and I can get it at any of those stores that sell
mhm,
bottles, then
yes,
I can fill it up from my home.
yes. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, what you can do is drop the bottles at the Jar Street Auditorium, and then we can fill them there.
Okay,
Because I know
so
some people may not feel comfortable doing that process, and that is
okay.
okay.
So we can either you to first step, you go and you buy those big gallon bottles, right, with
Yes.
the blue cover, and you can fill it up at your home, or you can take the bottles to the George Street Auditorium and they will fill the bottles there. Okay?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, so what we can do that, or what else can we do?
You can go to supermarkets and you can ask them if they have any buckets, because they have buckets that you can purchase sometimes for like $1.50.
Okay.
Sometimes some supermarkets give you them for free, and what we would do, we would get somebody to scrub the buckets out, and we would carry the buckets empty. We don't put anything in the buckets because they
Oh,
can decide what they want to store in them. So that is
oh,
something that you can do, that is also very low cost. If we have anybody on here tonight who works at a bakery who has extra buckets that the flour would come in, the sugar would come in, that is something that we would be looking to get from the companies if they're willing to give to us.
okay, somebody says here that Mr. Donut
Mhm.
sells three buckets for $15 and they are food grade. And ooh, that's good. Because I
Mhm.
was thinking about that. So they need to be food grade.
Yes.
Okay, don't bring any chemical buckets. Think about it. Be
No.
kind. Be kind. So what would on Sunday or even tomorrow,
Mhm.
Shakwani, Miss Hunt,
Mhm.
calling you Shaq.
It's
What you
okay.
can do is if you have the bottle and
Mhm.
you can bring it and show the people the bottle what you want. Okay,
Ye-
get one or send somebody, one of the other young people. All right, they show us the bottle and they show us the bucket. All right, and we
Yeah.
see exactly what you're looking for. So we need. So remember the big blue bottles, the not blue bottle with a blue cover. And that is about a gallon, she says, and
Yeah,
then
Marcia, I'm going to send you a picture right now because I had the pictures pulled. I went back in my files from 2021 to go and look for those pictures. I think it
yes.
would have, I think it should just come through on your phone. That is of the gallon bottle.
Yes. Okay. And Mr. Donut. So Mr. Donut is a store, I suspect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Donut getting big PR tonight. Okay. Mark promo. You can buy the buckets, and so you bring the. Don't fill up those buckets. When you get the buckets, don't fill them up. You're going to get that. You're going to bring that. With to George Street Auditorium so that they can give it to the residents, so they have something to store water in. Right? Yeah.
Yes. Right. I was
Yes.
just going to send you a couple of pictures of what the
Send me,
government
if
is.
you send it to me, then I will get it to Dave and he will put it up on the screen for us so we can see what we're dealing with. Now, on Sunday, we have a special program
Mhm.
that is being planned, and I will tell you more about it once the flyer is done. Because I don't want to announce, and then I'll tell you, I just know we're going to be dealing with water on Sunday, which is a basic right. It is a basic right. It's a right that is in United Nations Sustainable Development Goals,
Mhm.
right? And we've signed on to everything for the UN. And but here is our prime minister. She's a UN champion, and we are here in Barbados, and we cannot get clean drinking water. And but she's on the world stage, okay? And she is also the minister in charge of water. Can we use pigtail buckets? Samurai is asking.
Yes, but the same way how we would prep it for at home, we would clean them out when you bring them as well. Because
Yes.
they may not use the bucket to store drinking water, but it may be used for something else, like washing the clothes or something like that. Because the water is limited, they have to manage how they use it. So sometimes they would have to section it off, or they may use it to catch rainwater. Because I know some people would catch rainwater and use that for certain things inside the house.
Yes. Okay. So yes, very good, Shakwani. I must commend you, Shakwani, and those that did it before you. And this is a great idea for young people to get involved in, and I think this is great. Not just young people, but once you go in St. Lucie, I'm there. I'm on that truck with that water going to St. Lucie. So I'll definitely be there by the grace of God. And
Mhm.
we are going to definitely be working on a march in St. Lucie or thereabouts. When we talk to the people of St. Lucie, then we were going to know exactly what we are going to do. The 7,000 people in St. Lucie, you matter.
Mhm.
You matter, and it's not right. It's not right. What is happening there is just not right. And everybody, I was saying something and I lost my train of thought there, but it will come back. But
Mhm.
we have to get involved. We in Barbados, the place that we're at, this is the way we started the show. We said, I'm reading it because I wrote it down as I came on. I said, what is my focus today? Where we are demanding better from our government. We have been doing that on the show, demanding better from our government. We deserve it.
Mhm.
We deserve it at a minimum. We need to have drinking water, proper drinking water. When I came to Barbados, that was a feature of Barbados, the drinking water. Everybody in the Caribbean used to talk about Barbados as drinking
And the
water.
quality of water that we had.
Correct. The quality of water. Now, this is where we need the professionals to come on and
Mhm.
explain, because it is being alleged that it's because of these hotels and all of these places being built up around there, the development that is causing the water to be tint, for there to be a tint in the water. But you see how quick the government is to fine people for tint on their mirrors, right?
Yep.
Their windows, car windows, right? But they're so quick to take money from you for tinted water.
What I would say is that the money that they're taking from the people when they pay the water bill, they can use that money to help the people buy cases of water until the problem is resolved.
Correct.
Because
And
if you're going to say that they can't do anything because they have to pay the money, well then use that same money to give every single household 2 cases of water every single week.
let me
You
tell you, if
have
I
to
lived
find
in
a
St.
solution
Lucie,
for
they would
immediate
never
problem.
get a red cent from me. And if everybody do it, you see, the thing is, it has to be. They need to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
They need to feel it. It needs to. You have to. It has to be something that everybody do it. We don't forget about the party for one time.
Mm-hmm.
One time, please. Right? Forget it. Don't believe any more promises because this has been going on under whichever government. Don't follow no promises. Just decide that you're not paying the water bill, and you're gonna see the effect.
It will impact them greatly because we've seen Kimar speaking about how much money they make from the sewage tax and the garbage tax contribution and the water bill. So if roughly 7,000 people don't pay that bill, it would impact them greatly. And I think that the people of St. Lucie need to decide how much they can take. How long can you live with this condition of water? 2 more days, one
That's
more
the,
day.
that's the thing. We need to be able to show them. Like this gentleman works out. He spends about $300 a month because of this water issue. Buying water to drink and also paying his water bill, right? And then we haven't added in going to the laundromat for those who have not been able to buy to wash their clothes, because some people have figured out a way. One lady told me she put blue in the water, like a little square
Mhm.
thing. She puts in the water and it helps her with her clothes. But everybody, you shouldn't have to be doing that. You really shouldn't have to be doing that. So the thing is this, that
Mhm.
at a minimum, then $300, $350 is what
And you
people
have to
are.
remember that that's a small household because that's only 5 people. Imagine a household that's larger.
Yes.
Households can be larger in Barbados. I find we have large households.
And as Jacqueline Allen is saying, provision of water is a service they provide and that you're paying for. If the water is brown, they're not providing the service. It is
No,
simple.
no, it is.
Simple.
Mhm.
Simple, Simon. Simple. We don't have any questions about it. We're paying for a service, but you're not providing the service, so we withhold the payment. Right? But St. Lucie has to be ready. St. Lucie has to be ready. We will calculate how many households there are, because there must be something that should be able to give you how many households and make a budget. We'll figure out if everybody pays, say, I have 4 people in the family, 350, and see how much, they would save and so on and so forth. We can work it out and put it on paper. By Sunday, we have something to show the people. Have
Mhm.
an Excel file to show the people of how they break down, of how it breaks down, and how much
Yeah.
money they will not get. Stop giving them this amount of money per month. Yes, you're right. Someone is saying that they really feel for the guy on dialysis.
Yeah, because what he didn't say is that he probably has to get up really early because there's a time slot for what time you can go and get the dialysis.
Mm,
And he also needs to drink clean water. He needs to keep the area clean. So
mm.
all of those are things that could impact his health.
Yes, I want to come off of this, but one of our other young persons coming on.
Hmm.
And so I'm going to see if he can come on now, because this is a real serious issue. And he is studying nutrition at UE, and that's team on, and I want him to come on now, before we go into talking about the schools. Correct. Correct. And you telling me about you're providing water and people don't see a water truck in 2 weeks and have to be running one down at 9 o'clock in the night. What is that? What is that? We deserve better. We're not animals.
And I know sometimes people actually have to call the trucks to trigger the water being delivered. because sometimes, like the gentleman said, he didn't see a truck in weeks. Sometimes you have to, like, on the calling program, sometimes on brass stats, you hear people calling in and say, well, we haven't had water in this particular area for this amount of days. Can we please get a truck in this area? We've been trying to call and we're not getting through. People are getting desperate. They just want to be able to turn on their pipes and get water like everybody else.
Hmm. You know, at this point, I'm not even poor Mr. Phillips. He has no authority. Somebody's asking Mr. Phillips, why is he allowing that? You still there? Don't you see
I
what's
am
going
not
on?
even on why is he allowing that. He has to have a budget to assist the community. There has to be a budget for that. And what he should have done is he recognized, well, man, the residents of St. Lucie are being impacted in this way. What he could have done is use a portion of that budget to assist the residents and tell them, well, what you can do is that we will have this amount of cases at the constituency office every single week, and you could come and collect. The cases are going to be free. Don't worry about the costs. He
Yeah.
could have done that.
You know, but his trouble, what he has is that he those MPs, they don't have a say. Those MPs, they do not have a say. And so while we he can't do anything. He has no power. He can't do anything.
Marcia, he can do something. He does
You
not
think
need to
so?
say any, listen to me, he does not need to say anything publicly. He can just purchase water and have at his constituency office and tell his residents, well, there's water here. You can come and collect every single day. He might not be able to do anything because we know how mom sets up her people, but he can assist residents with just purchasing water and having there at that constituency office. Yes, it would be difficult for some people to go and collect. Maybe he can make arrangements to drop off, but he has to do something. He is obligated to that community. And it's not good enough that he's not doing anything. He can't just not do anything. He can't pretend that it does not exist.
This is something that Timon, I hope Timon is going to come on. Come on, Timon. Come on, Timon. Because I really want to, I need to move on. But I promise you that we are going to mention this again Friday because we are going to be talking about the poster. If Dave can put up the poster again for us, and like Shaquani, go through the poster again, for the people of St. Lucie, have a heart.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, let's not
Mm-hmm.
you know, let's do this in a non-partisan way.
Yes. Marcia, he can also go to Parliament and speak about it. Other MPs have done it before him. When
Mm,
their communities and residents were being impacted, they went to Parliament and spoke about it.
mm.
So he does not have an excuse. I'm not letting him get off that easy. It
But do
is
you think that he feels that you know, like I mean, who is he really going to be talking to? The minister that's over water is the prime minister? You think he's going to want to challenge her?
it is not about challenging, it's about speaking up for people who do not have the voice to speak for
Point taken.
themselves. He made the step to run as a representative because he wanted to represent people. It does not stop. His obligation to represent people does not stop because he fears what will be the repercussions to him. If he is so fearful, he should step down from the post and let them be a by election.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because the people in
Yeah,
St. Louis
he should be on the show. He should be on
yeah,
the show, and
he
we're
should
going
be.
to invite him on. I'm going to invite him on because he should join. Mr. Phillips should join us. It should join the march in St. Lucie, don't you think?
He should. Furthermore, if he wants to come and donate water, sure, what he can come. We are not making this about party. We are making this about people. And if he can't separate people from party, he has a problem.
Okay, 1 second. Good night. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show.
Good night.
Good
I am
night.
a St. Lucie resident.
Yes, ma'am. Good night. Welcome. Are you getting clear water in your tap?
Of course not, but I just wanted to say that in St. Lucie, we are a people of few words.
Hmm.
Never underestimate the the people in St. Lucie. My other suggestion, or what I would say, should the people in St. Lucie decided not to pay water bills,
Yes.
can we have the remainder of Barbados standing with us?
Mm. Okay, so when you say no, if the remainder of Barbados standing with us, explain what do you mean? What do you want us to do?
Now, if we are a people in St. Lucie, about 7,000 people,
Yes, that's what I'm
and,
told.
and none of us decide to pay water bills,
Mhm.
full stop,
Mm-hmm.
will the others in Barbados follow suit?
Ah.
So that the pressure is on Barbados Water Authority
Mm-hmm.
to do something about this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we can come and march. People can come and bring water for us.
Yes.
And I sat and listened, and yes, the solutions that are being put forward are great. But if you yourself was in this situation, it is very tiresome. It is very difficult.
Mm.
It's hard.
Okay.
The people in St. Lucie, I don't know if we can call our white clothes white any longer. You can probably identify us in a crowd because our whites are beige or cream.
Mm.
We don't have white. Um, Spending monies on water bill and then buying water is very difficult. Catching a water truck, when you see it, if you have to work, by the time you get back home,
Mm-hmm.
you hardly see a water truck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then going to the community water tanks,
Yes.
and we know history about these tanks. The water might be just as bad as the one that is coming through the tank.
Really?
The feeling is awful
Oh.
when it comes to the quality of our water. And I am saying that until we get proper water in St. Lucie, no one should pay a water bill in St. Lucie.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for calling. It is interesting. Thank you so much for calling. It's interesting to get that perspective because what the caller is saying, and I can understand that. It's sometimes when you're involved in something and you have to catch the water, you have to figure out how to wash your clothes. You're buying drinking water. If you have children, you're making you have to cook and you have to make sure the water is clean. Sometimes you yourself you get so tired. There's not enough energy there to even fight. And so it's good sometimes to hear that perspective, to hear from the people who have to endure it. Shakwani, I
Yes,
think that's an
definitely.
interesting perspective. And what they're saying is, will the rest of Barbados join in with St. Lucie? Now that's a big question.
That's a big question. And only the people of Barbados can make that decision for themselves. What we can do is that if a campaign like that is to happen, we need to inform people when it's going to happen. I remember when the gentleman did the 398 at the gas station, where he asked Barbadians to go to the gas station and only put in 398, $3.98, but tip the gas attendants because it is not their fault that the gas price was so high. And so many pages did that in one day and posted it online. So, yes, if a greater number of Barbadians join that protest, it will have impact. But it's how we would get the message out there, what we would do to assist. But they need assistance. As she's saying, they're tired. This is not something that started for them now. They've
Mhm.
been dealing with this, they've been battling with this for a while. And I think one of the things that we didn't mention here is corporate responsibility, social corporate responsibility from companies. There are a lot of hotels on the West Coast that can assist. There are a lot of hotels and businesses on the West Coast that can assist them.
Yes, yes. So that's something that I was going to talk about. Corporate companies in St. Lucie. One second. There's a call. Good
No.
night, caller.
Hello, good night. How are you?
I am great and mature. Good night. Can you greet me again? I want to make sure we can hear you. Good
Hello,
night.
good night. How are
Yeah.
you doing?
I am doing good. Can you hear her, Shakwani?
Yes, I can hear her clearer now.
Clearer. Yes. Can you just speak up a little bit for us? Welcome to the Marcia Week Show. Thanks for calling. How can I help you tonight?
Thank you. I'm calling about the water situation as well.
Yes, ma'am.
However, I am not in St. Lucie, but
That
not
is
so far away in St. Peter in an area called Boscobel.
Ah,
And the water coming through the tap is not as stained as the one in St. Lucie, but it is discolored as well. You cannot, you can't drink that water. You can't cook with that water. You have to wait for the water truck to come. Sometimes it's timely, sometimes it is not. So it's not only persons in St. Lucie that are suffering. There are other areas in Barbados that, find it quite challenging. I I grew up having to fetch water when it was during the crop season. The water will always go, and that was a nightmare.
mm,
Going into adulthood, had to experience the same thing. There were days, you go home from work, there's no water, taps
mm-hmm,
just dry. You drive all over the place, all St. Lucie, taps dry.
mm-hmm.
I've had friends bring water for me from St. Philip. You
Wow.
know, you got to take your clothes to the laundry. You can't wash anything white without water. As the lady said prior to me, you're really walking looking dim. Everybody wondering, wait, what happened to those whites? Because obviously they're beige now,
Yes.
stained, heavily stained with the water. And this nonsense has been going on for years. It is ridiculous,
Yes. Yes.
you know.
Yes.
And I have elderly parents. So picture my mom growing up in the north,
Mm-hmm.
having to go to fetch water from, long distances. And in your old age now, 70 plus, almost 80 years,
Yes.
and still have to fetch water.
Mm.
It is ridiculous.
We need to know exactly what the issue is in this day and age. I mean, when you think, caller, of the amount of money that we have borrowed as a country,
Yeah,
we would think that those basic things is a basic right. Caller, I'm saying that yes, we don't like the other borrowing, but can you imagine if we knew that the money borrowed helped the people in St. Boscobel in St. Lucie to get water? I think that people would feel a bit better about the borrowing. What do you think?
yes, they definitely would. But when it just goes on like if, you are cut off from the rest of the island with this water issue, you're on this deserted island all by yourself, just struggling with this water issue. It is just, it's not comforting at all.
Yes,
It
yes,
really
yes.
is. It
Uh,
really is not.
And so you agree with the caller who called before saying that everybody in Barbados should join with those in
Yeah,
St. Lucie because you are having
yes,
problems too in
yes,
Boscobel.
yeah. Person should stand in solidarity with, you know. Oh yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Wow. Oh gosh. Well, thank you so much, caller, for calling. And I'm really, boy, if I'm in St. Philip and just a few times the water goes off, it's so difficult. You can't get to flush the toilet. You can't, can you imagine to be living like that? I can't imagine it. It's
It
difficult.
it really is not nice. I remembered years ago we had the issue when it went on. Sometimes the water truck come 11 o'clock at night. You're in bed, but you have to jump up and get out there because you don't know when the truck is going to come next.
Yeah.
And I remembered once, you know, I was so hurt, And I don't mean to sound crude or anything,
Yeah.
but I did call Waterworks and I said to the guy, sir, I don't mean to be disrespectful or anything, but you can imagine. I said, do you have a wife or girlfriend?
Hmm.
You know, picture at that time of the month when you need to shower and there's no water flowing through your tap and you got to try bathing out of a bucket. It is
Hmm.
not cool. It is not cool. It
Yeah.
is not nice.
Wow.
And picture now outside is beastly hot.
Yes. Talk. I mean, no, it's not being cruel, but it's being real. And that's why I love the caller who called before, because we could sit here and say, why the people of St. Lucie don't get up? But after a time, it's like you've been so beaten down and you're so tired. I mean, listen to what she's saying. You know, your time of the month and you have to use a bucket
Hmm.
in this day and age. I mean, let's be real about it. It's not. That's not easy.
It's not. It really isn't.
Wow. Wow.
No?
Caller, thank you for calling. And I'm going to store all these numbers and bug you all, because we've got to do something. Come together, and we're going to work together on it. Okay.
Yes, thank
And
you. And
we're
thanks for
there's a
listening to
special
me.
show on Sunday, and so tell people about the show. It's all going to be about water. On Sunday, and once suppose the flyer comes out, we let that be known. I won't say too much on it, because I want to make sure that it that it's that everything that I'm saying is what's going to happen, and those people are going to be here. But I want you to listen out for that, and everybody to listen. Okay?
Certainly. Thank you so much. And thanks for having me on the show.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. God bless.
Bye. Have a good
Yes.
night.
Good night.
Good
You know,
night.
that is what they need to understand. The seriousness of this, Shaquani. It's not being cruel, because at the time of the month, a woman having her menstrual and having to wash up herself in a bucket
Mhm.
in
So,
2024. It's,
Marcia, imagine a household with multiple women all having the time of the month at the same time, and you only have one bottle of water.
yes. Oh my
One
God.
bottle of water at the same
It
time.
is
It's
ex-
Good
really
night.
something
Good
else.
night. I'm sorry, Shaquani. Good night, caller.
Good night, Marcia. I don't have to ask how are you. I can see you are looking beautiful.
Thank you
But
so very much. Thank you.
I
Thank
am
you.
not in St. Lucie, and I just have one question to ask. How is the water at Harrison Point?
Harrison Point. How is the water at
Yes.
Harrison Point? Harrison Point is where they had that
Where they host the people like COVID and where they were going to hospitalize and medical care the people for the cricket.
okay, can you
That is
hear
right
her?
there in St. Lucie.
You're hearing her. Okay. So this is oh right, this beautiful hospital that they're putting up there, right? For they were gonna put the people at Cricket World Cup.
Correct.
Okay, let's make
And
sure.
that is in the middle of St. Lucie.
Ah,
So what kind of water are they getting there?
that's a very good question.
Yes.
Did you hear? This is why I tell people, remember, we have intelligent people in Barbados. We are intelligent people. Did you hear what she's asking? That's a very good question.
Mhm.
She's asking, that hospital is a state of the art hospital, isn't it, ma'am?
Yes, that is where they host the COVID people. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but you know the 2020, 22, so the 2020 to 2022 people. That's where they host them. And when the cricket was here, that is where they were going to treat anyone who became ill rather than sending them to the QE that we know is no longer a hospital.
Hmm. That's a very good point.
Mhm.
That's a very good point. I'm going to ask some questions. If anybody's listening and can help us, because we're doing this together, we're nobody's sitting and folding their hands. We are
Mhm.
going to do this together. Can you, if what anybody was at the went up to there when they had COVID to Harrison Point? What was the quality of water out of the taps there? Does anybody know? Any nurse who used to work there, you don't have to call in nurse. Just call me, and I'm going to keep it under the wraps. Nobody's going to know that you called me, okay? But what we need to do. We're trying to really determine exactly what is this that they're really doing, though, because they also said at ma'am on that's on the line. They said, ma'am, that in the Cricket World Cup they were keeping this place just in case someone got sick, right, Shakwani?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Correct. Mm-hmm.
that's where they were going to go. So you're telling us that you have facility for water there? Is that's interesting? That's
Because
very interesting.
That's a really good
you
question.
cannot take international cricketers and persons to a place where when they turn on the tap, they're not getting proper water.
Uh-huh. Yes, that's a very good point. So why can't all the households then have the same system that this has? You see,
Correct.
you see every household. This is
Mar-
what I'm saying. Do we matter? Do we matter? We
Mhm.
have to determine, call it up. We matter. We cannot wait on a politician to tell us that we matter.
No, but you see, this particular party had a leader, and I believe that people, well, Stephanie may not know of this, but older people might. But we had a leader, Tom Adams, that years ago. He said that Barbadians have very short memory, so you can do them anything, and by the time the next election comes around, they'll forget.
Oh boy.
And that is on record. But I think this administration needs to understand that we, the old people that have short memories, when you go into dementia, you don't remember the short term things, but you remember the things from way back.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, caller. That's a very good point that you have brought in this conversation. Please listen out for Sunday. Sunday, we are going to have a whole show on water, dealing with this tint water throughout the island, because we're hearing, yes, it's St. Lucie, but there are some other places. Thank you so very much. Very good point you raised. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you and keep up the good work.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You see, I tell you about our seniors. Let me tell you, you can't fool them seniors, you know. You cannot fool those seniors. I tell you, but that's a good point, Shakwani.
Yeah, yes, Marcia. But I put something on the screen where the person said, "Yes, Marcia." They're saying that they live in the area and is affected heavily, so they're wondering how the water quality is inside of Harrison Point as well.
So you're telling me, because there's no way that no water truck going to be bringing water to this facility.
But when they first put this video on screen, it showed you an area where it had around like 6 large water tanks. So I'm wondering if those water tanks like are for the whole system inside of Harrison Point. And if that is the case, why would you even put a hospital in a location where you have a major water issue? Because water would be very important to keeping the hospital sanitary. Because I can't imagine they're mopping the floors and the rooms with brown water. That seems ridiculous to me.
So you're telling me then, we're making a lot of assumptions here, but if this is a hospital, one would think
Mm-hmm.
that but my thing is,
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to do whatever you do for this
Mm-hmm.
this facility, needs to be replicated
Yeah.
for all of the households in St.
Yes.
Lucie. I'm telling you, I said, listen, turn the place upside down. If
I'm
we
telling you
find
because
out that they are getting water at this hospital, St. Lucie, what do you call the people from St. Lucie? St. Lucians, St. Lucians, whatever.
I don't know. But maybe
Listen,
say Lucy people, but
St. Lucie people, turn this thing upside down. If they have made arrangement for water for this hospital that they can put us in, we little black people can't even go in there, so because now they're saying that they're keeping this, it was for the for Cricket World Cup. So now this is what they're using this for. All of us sleeping on the floor, down at QEH,
Hmm.
right? But then we can't go in that, you know. So if we find out that they have water arrangement and they have whatever for that hospital down there, I say St. Lucie people turn this thing upside down. Don't matter the party because this issue was going on way before this administration.
Marcia, they can even go one step further. They can budget because they're always borrowing money, so they can borrow money for this. They can budget to give every household that is impacted with not getting water, poor quality water, a free water tank.
Correct.
And if they give them a water tank, that water tank will catch water when the rain is falling. So that means that if you're getting brown water, they can set it up in a way where you can turn off the water coming directly from water authority and let that water coming through the tank filter straight into your pipes. That is an option. Then
I want to hear from Mrs. Strickland.
Mhm.
Right? Um, I I want to hear from Mr. Strickland about this water tank. How much would it be for one household? You know, to get a water tank per household. What is it that is set up? You know, and so on. I would like to know all of that. We want to put down the figures, right? We need to turn this thing upside down. Turn it upside down because we matter. All of Barbados, we matter. And what about the schools? Don't they have schools in St. Lucie? It's the St. Lucie Secondary. I think it has a different name now.
I think it's Frederick Smith. Is it?
Frederick Smith. So there are schools in St. Lucie, right?
Yes.
Are they drinking that water from the tap? What do the children drink at the schools?
I'm guessing the teachers will ask the children to bring school their own water because I know of a person who was actually trying to run a water project as well to give the donations directly to the schools. So based on that information, I have a feeling that they're also being impacted in that manner.
Yes, Daryl Jordan is what it's called.
Okay, Marcia, I did a quick little Google search on one of the hardware companies in Barbados. A
Yes,
water tank that holds roughly 200 gallons is 230 $238. Correction, somebody told me that the school's name is Daryl Jordan.
yes.
So let me just correct that. A water tank that holds 450 gallons is roughly $348. So that's basically two water bills. If you get the small one, maybe three if you get the
There
large
has to be something more to it. It can't
one.
be. It can't be. There has to be something more to that. You know. So we're gonna hold that there because it can't be
Mhm.
that.
But I'm more sure previously somebody would have donated some water tanks to the communities. But I'll have to research that because I can't remember the exact program that it was. But it was a hurry so that donated some water tanks to assist with the same water issue previously.
Hmm. Well, we're
But
gonna pick this up. Yeah. Sorry, Shakwani. Go
no,
right
I was
ahead.
going to say on I would what I would do is do my research as well and see if we can get any experts in the field who can say what would the cost be to set up a water tank in a household and how the system can work if the person wanted to turn off the water coming from water authority and just use the tank because the water quality was low.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting to find that out because that
Marcia, wait. Somebody just told me the government has a program with water authority where you can purchase a water tank or discount.
what purchase. No, you're not
But
purchasing
no, no,
nothing.
no. Because in my mind, if they can do that, that means that they can cover the whole cost because they're already saying how much money they make from the collections
A
from
purchase
the.
at discount. You see how they treat people. Purchase at with discount when you are taking $60,000 and you just disappear in a whole project. 50,000 wasted on Kensington. We don't see any jobs. It's not creating anything. Kensington is now our lives have not been better. Please, Barbados, wake up. Remember they told us They're spending this money because ooh, we're gonna live in heaven afterwards, and we still can't buy groceries.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see any jobs generating. Wake up, Barbados. Wow. 50 million on Kensington. And as somebody here, Kamar says that people are paying for water in bottles, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
paying for filters, they're paying for sewage, and they're paying BWA, and they're getting none. I don't know what could go like this.
Marcia, Sonia Brown stood up for people and the PM made a change to the land tax.
Exactly.
If she can do that, the MP for this area can do that too. And he doesn't need to be the only one, because we're hearing other people calling in to speak about the other areas being impacted. We heard somebody calling from St. Lucie, we heard somebody speaking about St. Peter, and we hearing somebody speaking about Boscobel as well. And I'm sure
Yes.
Boscobel is in St. Andrew. Could be
Yeah.
corrected unless that's possible. But if if more than one MP gets up and speak about this water issue, it would be more impactful,
Yes.
because more than one community is being impacted. We heard somebody from St. John saying how they're being currently impacted. So that means that the MP for St. John can also come together with them and speak to the issue.
Agree. So
And
we
if
need to
we're
call
saying
it
that
out.
Barbadians can come together, the representatives can come together as well to show the need for this to be resolved.
Yes. So it's a cost. Apparently, there's a cost of the pump. Jeffrey Sober. Jeffrey, link us up. Let us know what you're talking about. We want to know what the cost is. They need to cover this. They need to
Mm-hmm.
cover this. We need to stop it. We cannot know. We matter in this country. Everybody matter. Well, we did advertise that we're going to talk about the schools. But this is really a very serious issue, and so I promise you, we're not going to let this go. We're not going to let it go. There's so many issues, but we're not going to let it go. With the people of St. Lucie, Boscobel, St. John, we're going to do our part. Shaquani and other young people, they're leading a charge with providing the water, and we're going to support that. And then we are going to pick up everybody on here. The loyal opposition is calling for a march in St. Lucie, so we are going to pick that up as well and do that. So while the water, I'm gonna be part of that water. I'm gonna definitely be part of that, Shaquani, and be with you guys when you're giving out the water. I'm gonna bring my own water as well, but I'm definitely on board with that. But we're gonna do a march as well, and then we're going to get some kind of something going with the bill. So we need everybody on board to help us to make this happen. As we said, we have Sonia Brown as an example, and that MP can stand up. You can stand up, sir. You can stand up,
He
right?
can.
Yeah. All right. So we will have to. This is really touching my heart, boy. But we will have to switch and go to the. I just want to show a couple of videos. If you can stay with me a little, Shaquani.
Mm-hmm.
We have another 30 minutes, and because we advertise it, we will have to talk about it. But I have some videos, and Dave has them in here. If Dave could show them, and we, just show them one after the other, and we will discuss them. Somebody's saying, well, Sonia Brown did it because she was affected. Well, at least she stood up. She stood up, right? Kamar says, while we're waiting on Dave, we're going to switch the topic to schools now. This water problem is diabolic. On two fronts, it will affect people's health long and short term. And Motley's pushing Beijing towards buying water, privatizing, foreign white owners, and that's the other part of it that Kimar has been talking about. There's a call coming in. Dave, we're waiting on Dave, but let me take this call. Good night.
Yes, good night, ma'am.
Yes, welcome
My
to the
name,
Marcia Week Show
yes, my name is Mark, and I live in Rockall, St. Thomas.
in St. Thomas. Good night,
Yes,
Mark. Welcome.
and sometimes we will get water coming out brown through the pipes too.
Wow.
So this is not only affecting people in St. Lucie or in St. Peter or people that in St. John, it also affecting people in St. Thomas. Because I live at Rockall,
Mm,
St. Thomas, and the water sometimes is come out brown.
right. Okay, so here we're hearing St. Peter, St. Thomas.
Yes, ma'am.
You see it, St. Lucy for sure, because that's what we're talking about, and St. John. So
Yes,
so the caller who said that this need to be something that we do island wide,
yes,
and stop paying the water bill really needs to happen. You heard that, Miss Hunt, that this caller is calling from St. Thomas.
right. So
Wow.
we need to do something about this because the Barbados water authorities cannot do better. And we
Yes.
don't want to be drinking water that are brown. We pay for our water, let me get clear crystal water, not water that brown, man.
I agree. And how much do you pay for your water per month? Your water bill?
My water bill is coming to $123.
133 that you pay per month.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
$133.
And you're not getting proper service.
No, ma'am.
Would you be one of those that if everybody said they're not paying the bill that you would stop paying your bill too?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so listen out, because we don't want to. So we're going to do it, and then only three of us do it. We have to be all of us doing it together.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you,
All
sir.
right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks
Bye
for
bye.
calling. I'm really
Yes.
sorry to
And
hear
I
about.
also, and I also watching your show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling and thanks for watching.
All right.
And we
Bye
do
bye.
empathize with you. Yes, sir. Wow. Go ahead. You were saying something, Shakwani.
Oh,
You're
I was saying I didn't even realize I had my mic muted. But I am glad that a lot of people are calling in to identify the other areas that currently aren't having water or being impacted. And I'm glad this person from St. James said that because we actually did, when we did the water drive previously, St. James was one of the areas we went in. I didn't even know at that time St. James was being impacted in that way.
Yeah.
So it's really good to see people saying in the chat which locations are being impacted by either not having water or the water's being discolored, and people calling in to share their experiences because we need to hear this so that we would know and we can pinpoint which areas are being impacted and how we can assist. So I definitely think the person that suggested all Barbadians boycotting paying the water bill, I think that's a pretty good
Yeah.
suggestion because as we can see from the comments rolling in, lots of areas are being impacted. And the water bills, I have not heard a person said that their water bill was $80 yet. So that means that most people are paying water bills that $100 and up.
100 and up. Yes. And somebody just remind me, this is a pet peeve of mine as an artist, that she paid, this government paid Marshall $250,000 to sing for a few minutes. That's wrong. That's wrong on all levels. And we are here drinking mud. We're drinking mud, right? And that could have bought. That's why I want to figure out how much is this
The water tank
the
systems.
water tanks, yeah, because we're going to add up all of this wastage of money and show them how they could have been spent.
Yes, because I think that sometimes they have difficulty coming up with ideas and solutions, and that is something that we can do. We can assist that. I'm not gonna hide my solution or my idea because I am gonna say, "Oh, you're in the other party." No, it is for the benefit of every Barbadian because there need to be a standard. If you're gonna have a Barbados Water Authority, it's called Barbados Water Authority. That is implying that is something for all Barbadians, all people living in
Yes.
Barbados.
There's
There
another call
must be
coming
a
in. The
standard.
calls are coming in. 1 second, Miss
That's
Hunt.
amazing.
Good night, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show. How can we help you?
Good night, Marcy again. I'm just calling to say there's Basketball St. Peter and there's Basketball St. Andrew.
Okay, so I need to specify
Yes.
that
Yeah.
I'm saying St. Peter.
Basketball St. Peter and Basketball St. Andrew.
Okay, so both of them have issues?
I would think so because it's not too far from the other. It's just one of these things they call it a button bound.
I see. I see. Thank you for that. Thank you for clarifying that for me.
Thank you very much.
You're
So,
welcome.
thank you, caller. If you are watching and you're living in Boscobel, St. Andrew, please give us a call. Okay, Boscobel, St. Andrew. Give us a call. We want to know if you are experiencing the same tint water. That's what we're calling it right now, tint water. That's a new name for it, tint water. So if you're experiencing tinted water, please give us a call at the number that is on the screen. Okay, give us a call on that. Yeah. No. Wow.
Marcia, you can tell how passionate people are about it because so many people are calling in tonight.
Yes.
So you know that is impacting a large number of people in society. And with issues that are impacting so many people, they need to find a solution. It's not good enough to say, oh, this has been happening for years. So what? Technology has improved. This should be something that you can do now. All of these international conferences you're going to, you're trying to tell me at no point they have a solution to help your country fix their current water issue? Because if they can't fix a small problem like this in a small island, what is the purpose of those conferences?
Yes. There's another caller coming in. Seems like we're not going to be able to touch the school. Just let me go. Good night, caller. Welcome to the Marcia Week Show. How can we help you?
Hi, Marcia. You want to add Atlantic Shores to your list of brown, dirty water for over 30 years?
Shores?
Atlantic Shores. Correct. Brown, dirty, stinking water, filters change, loads of bottled water, bought everything, clothes damaged for over 30 years.
Wow. This is not good enough. And this is why I'm saying that.
It doesn't matter who in charge of water authority. It really don't matter. Trust me on what I tell you. Atlantic Shores too. Add it. Not all of it, but some of Atlantic Shores. To be precise, I can give you one avenue, Sea Breeze Drive.
Sea Breeze Drive. No.
To be precise.
Right. This is Christchurch, right?
Correct. Atlantic Shores, Christchurch, the upper half.
Wow. Now, so are you in agreement with that caller that said that this boycott of BWA needs to be nationwide?
Yes. You are getting it from all angles, and I'm sure that people not calling and not opening their mouth and not saying a thing. It is not my house in Atlantic Shores, it's my parents' house.
Oh my God.
But I can certainly tell you about the brown water. Some days you will get a little white, you think, okay, you can wash your clothes, and by the time you're halfway through, you got brown clothes.
You know the thing about it, I just wrote down 30 years.
Martha, cases of bottled water, cases, and we're going back like 30 years, I'm telling you, okay? Listen, 10 years, 5 years, 4 years, about 30. 20, 30, 20 at least, okay? At least 20 years.
Wow.
My son is going to be 21 this year. It been going on all his life.
Oh my gosh.
So you got from Atlantic Shores to St. Lucie.
Yes.
And God and heaven help what in between.
What in between? Well, I thank you for calling, and I let me tell you, it's just so terrible to know that your parents in their senior years have to.
They're dead and gone, no Marcia. Both of them are dead and gone between last year and this year.
Wow.
Both of them. Okay?
Yes,
Good.
yeah. Thank you for calling, caller. I'm very,
You're
very
welcome,
sorry to
Marcia.
hear.
Take care. I'll talk to you later.
Yes,
Bye.
ma'am.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you all. Take care.
Yes, thank
Continue.
you. 30 years ago. You hear that? And this is why, Shakwani, I'm saying that we just need to take off the colors, all
Mm-hmm.
right? And recognize that we are human beings. And if so much money can be flying around, my God, you don't think that we would feel good to know that they fix, all right, we see that they're fixing one community and they say, all right, you see how we fix that community? We're coming to you next. You know, you don't think we would feel better, a little better, Shakwani?
Marcia, if people had to be impacted for us for a couple of months to get this issue fixed, I don't feel that they will complain. They won't mind if the roads were dig up for miles. If they could get at the end result, your water would be clear. And you could every time you turn on your pipe or wash your clothes, your water would be clear. And not only clear, clear and clean. So that when you drink it, you don't feel like any chemicals are in it. I feel like we need to do better as a country and as a government. They need to do better because I'm telling you, technology had to improve throughout this 30 years. It cannot be the same issue where you're saying that they don't know what the issue is, they don't know how to fix the problem. We like to
Yeah.
bring people from all over the world. If you're going to say that you don't have anybody in Barbados to fix the problem, bring somebody from overseas.
Yes,
People in
you're traveling
Barbados.
all about. I mean, we I think this is what I've been saying, and they love to say, you're criticizing the PM, but come on. If you took on go into office, oh, we would love them so much. If they would just take one issue now and just work it to the end, right? Just work the one, go in, you have that issue, and let's work it to the end. Especially since you are able to go and borrow all this money and beg all this money. Put it towards good use now.
Marcia, when an issue like this comes up, right, you can apply for grants because it is something like in every country somebody needs clean drinking water. I know there have to be grants overseas to assist countries in getting their systems together for clean drinking water. So why would we need to borrow money when somebody would be able to give us a grant? And if she's all over the world, she has to know where these grants are and need to utilize them.
That's a very good point you're making, Shakwani, a young woman. And I mean, she's right because it is part of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. It is
Mhm.
part of that. And someone pointed out they remove a lot of the standpipe. Pipes. Well, why you did that?
I want you to know the water at most standpipes come out clear. I do not know how. I do
So
not know.
why would they cut off the clear water? You're trying to keep, the funny thing. And this is where I'm saying I want to just tell off some of these professionals that are listening to this right now, or those that are to listen.
Mm,
There are professionals they're nutritionists and health professionals who they know some of the diseases. They know what can happen over a long period of time if you drink this kind of corrupted water, this kind of tinted water. We need you to come forward. Why are you so afraid? This is what you went to school for. Barbados needs you. Forget about the party because both parties, this has been an issue under both parties. Barbadians deserve better. You are a professional. We need your help. Please contact me and let's look at some of the long-term health issues that Barbadians could suffer
mhm.
drinking this over a long-term period. We need you. What about the engineers? Where are you? Where's your voice on this? We have engineers in Barbados, Shakwani, that can speak to this
Definitely.
issue. Some
They
of you
can.
know exactly what the problem is, but you're afraid. Really? This
What
is
I
what
would
you
say
went to
is
school
that
for. Go
some
ahead,
people are,
Shakwani.
some people are afraid, and because they're in that field, they're afraid that it won't get contracts. because victimization in Barbados is a real thing. And we're saying that people can speak up, but people are afraid. They got families to feed, they got mortgages to pay, so they're afraid. I remember a gentleman who told me about some solutions to how you could mitigate this water issue previously, almost like 2018 or so. We were speaking, and he was in a position where he came into his job under one government and they associated him with that particular government, and then when it was time for his contract to be renewed, he had so much difficulty, like so much people in that company did things so that it would seem like he wasn't doing his job, and he ended up not getting his contract renewed, and for a while he didn't have a job, and that impacted one, his family, because he had children overseas at college. It impacted his home. And even recently he reached out to me and told me, well, let me know what I can do behind the scenes, but you know that I can't actually help in front of the scenes because I have to think about protecting my family. So that is a real issue, victimization. And I know people in the comments can start to talk about it, but they do feel it. Even though we say that it doesn't happen, it can't happen. The only way how it wouldn't happen to you is if you're in a position where you work for yourself, and you wouldn't be impacted in that way if you speak out about something.
You know,
So that
somebody says
victimization
here, you know,
is
I remember, listen, I know we promised to talk about the schools. I'm still going to show those videos. I don't know, Dave is telling me something. Huh? I'm not hearing? Okay. No, but I remember, Shaquani, I can tell you, I remember the times when I was afraid to. There was a time when I was afraid to speak up because everybody says that, oh, they're going to do this to you and they're going to do that to you and all of that. But then there came a time, and that I know when that time was. That time was when those that alleged drug gangster or whoever he is, um, well, that particular person, let's put it that way, let me take that back, um, was wanting to sell food and open a
Mhm,
restaurant in the middle of Krakover.
mhm,
And he was able to go in his phone and call the PM, and the PM basically run the police and tell him to leave him so he
mhm.
could break the law. And when I saw that, I knew exactly when the fear left me. But as Kamar, there was she said something here. You cannot continue to be afraid all your life. You cannot continue to be afraid all your life, my Barbadian people.
Mhm.
Will they victimize the entire country? I'm still alive. I'm still eating. They can't. They don't even mention my. They don't even put my name in the mouth, except for who, Patrick King. But they don't say. They use him, but they don't. They don't say anything. I'm
Mhm.
still here. Will they try? They could try all they want. But one thing I'm not going to do, I cannot, I don't have it in a bone in me, Shakwani, to sit down
Mhm.
and see injustice and not
No.
speak. I cannot. I cannot do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. But there comes a time, and I agree with Kamal, you cannot continue to be afraid all of your life. They can't victimize the entire country.
They
They
cannot.
can't. Right, Shakwani?
They cannot victimize a whole entire country. And we're stronger together. Always remember that. We're stronger together. And if we stand up and speak out and we come together as one people, we can do it.
I agree. I agree. And I think that we need to. I know, yes, Shakwani is a young woman who's part of the Democratic Labor Party, but this issue, I am saying, this issue transcends party
It
because
does.
it spanned over the end over all parties. Is what I mean. So right now, it's a Barbados issue. It is a Barbados issue. And when if we begin to look at these things that way, I think we would be better off. And she's only on the show because guess what? This young lady reached out to me. If Lynette reached out to me from UPP, she'll be on the show. She knows that. The invitation is there for Lynette to call me anytime. Solutions Barbados. I told the structural, he's a structural engineer. He would know all about these things. But I don't hear that they're not speaking up on behalf of the people. So Barbados, this is why I say nobody's coming to save us. We've got to save ourselves. I
Mhm.
see Howard Timon. You come on 6 minutes to 10. Good evening. Timon. I didn't
Oh
go.
shoot, and he dropped out.
I love my young people. But Timon, this is an issue that Timon is planning to take up as well. And it would be great to connect with him. Okay, he's right here. Come at me laugh up there. Timon Howard, you're gracing us with your
Hi, can you
presence
hear me?
6 minutes to 10. Good good night. I'm
Can you hear
teasing
me?
you.
Yeah, good evening, good evening. Yeah, it's been a situation due by
I
WhatsApp.
know I'm just bothering you. I'm bothering you
Okay.
publicly. Yes, he did tell me from the time I contacted him. Timon, well, my dear, you have 2 minutes to say what you want to say about this water thing. So strong and concise, and we're gonna zip it up. Let's go.
Alrighty. Good night tomorrow. For
Good
sure,
night.
definitely. I trust that much has been said already. So from what I've heard, I won't necessarily exhaust those points. However, from the health perspective in terms of the nitty-gritty of it, when it comes to water that's not pure, yeah, uh, the and particularly the nature of the impurities. When you look at things like bacteria, viruses, there are some that are waterborne, and it's very easy then for these things to be transmitted in water that's not clean. Right?
Yeah.
This is why clean water is very important. I mean, it is that you're surfacing persons with this water and not. And even the notice that was given out, I heard on Starcom Network, I can't remember which day it was last week in particular, saying residents of St. Lucie are advised to boil the water. They they weren't really even advised as to how long to boil the water. If you look at those bottles of milk that the ones like goat's milk,
Yes.
that tell you, boil it for 15 seconds at X temperature, before using it. You have to have some better guidelines than just saying, "Oh, you're advised to boil the water." Right? Like that's not good enough. Uh, so there's that. That was a poor advisory. Um, and I also didn't really like the way that they tried to make it seem as though it was all so much due to the recent flooding or whatever the case may be, by saying that routine checks, routine post flood checks have revealed XYZ, when this is just a continuation and a exacerbation of a pre-existing problem. It's not the floods now, causing these things and no things showing up. So that was poor to me.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the bottled water now as the alternative, yeah, the persons that do got the microplastics and such, and even still some of those same bottled water companies, keeping it 100, if you were to test those as well, you got some issues with those. So especially the popular brands are so here too. So to take that as a long-term solution is also, one, is an unnecessary expense to the person who's still paying a water bill apparently for no reason, essentially. And also, you have those other challenges. In terms of what could be done, I would say the best option that I've heard so far probably is the rainwater solution, in terms of gathering the rainwater, filtering that, you know, having capturing that, you know, and using it, having your filter or your water system there that you can collect that and uh, utilize that in accordance to your needs.
Mm-hmm. So you're
Because
thinking if everybody could get a tank and get the rainwater.
right, so that would be a more tenable thing than even getting a water filter for your pipe, because then you gotta look at changing that. You gotta look at how effective that water filter is. The rainwater is probably the better
better
option.
option. But
Yeah,
everybody, and I'm hearing that
and you hearing that? Listening
that
to
the
you.
pump itself is about $2,000.
For
So
the
in order
same water
to
tank.
catch that rainwater, right, you will have to be able to have a pump so it goes through your pipe.
Well, I mean, you mean in terms of connecting it to the ecosystem? That what you mean?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, and see, even that is another aspect. I mean, it meant more so in terms of a separate system, but
A
in terms of
separate
integrating
system.
it, yeah, but in terms of integrating it as you would, want to, because if you got a house with a plumbing installed, you kind of want to be using the water inside your house, not necessarily just having it caught in a water system outside, and then having to fill whatever containers you need to fill or whatever the case may be there. But it's gonna take time.
It will, it
It's gonna
will.
take time.
But Timon,
And
I'm going to invite you to come back on Sunday, because Sunday we are just going to dedicate Sunday to water. I'm hoping to get we have a special show that's going to happen, and I'm hoping to get some professionals on. I would love to get some engineers on as well, and other health personnel. Timon, I must comment. These are two young persons, and I love these people here. These two you see on the show, and all of them really. And Timon is what, 20 or 21? Timon, I can tell him your age.
yeah, that's all good. 20,
Yeah, you're 21 or 20.
20,
He's
20,
20.
20, 20,
He's 20 years old, and as a lady who
20
came
flat.
on
Yeah.
and said that in Atlantic Shores, their issue was going on for over 30 years before this young man was born. And here he is. He's now at U. He's not even finished, and he is stepping into the ring to say he's studying nutrition, and he's stepping into the ring to help his Barbadian people. And so this is what I'm saying to these professionals. I'm saying there comes a time when you've got to put people over your own well-being. You have to step in the ring, man, and do something, right? So Timon, I so commend you, and I want you to get me some young people to help Shakwani. All right, this is an issue that we are going to have to deal with, and without any party attached to it, because this was going on, Timon, before you were born, and it didn't matter the color that the party it was. It was the people were suffering under this issue here. So we're not business in a party. We are dealing with the situation in Barbados and trying to get it fixed. Okay, so I would love for you to team up with Shakwani, and Shakwani. Timon is a poet, and I know he's going to get some poets to write about this situation. So,
Yeah,
on that.
I'm gonna see what we could do for the same thing that you're talking about. Is this what time you think you're talking about? Sunday.
Um, with, on Sunday. Sunday on the show
The
is
show.
from 7. Yes, it's during the show from 7 to
7
10.
p.m.
Yes, to 10.
The same platform, right?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. I would see
Right.
what I could arrange because we almost wrapping up that piece. So
Yes, we're done. It's
yeah.
10:02. So we're going to on Friday. I want to apologize to everyone. We thought we were going to deal with the school issue, but no. We just flow as the Spirit leads us, as God leads us, and this is the area that's on His heart, and that is what we're doing. So we will, God willing, on Friday we will pick up on the school issue. All right, all the things happening in the schools. We will pick up on that on Friday. And on Sunday, it's going to be an all water evening. All right. Unless something major is happening in the country. Okay. So, guys, Shakwani. Shakwani, you're an amazing young lady. Turn on your microphone there.
Oh, wait, I know. Remember that my mic was on off when Timon was speaking because I didn't want to make sure that there was no interruptions from my end.
Yes. But Shakwani, I'm so glad you contacted me last night. And I'm saying to all anybody else, you can reach out to me. Reach out to me, regardless of whatever your persuasion is, whatever your party is, whatever your grouping is. Reach out to me. Let me know what it is you want to do, and let's see how we can make it happen. That's it. I really am not, I'm for this. This is it. I'm for this. All right. And when you for this, we can work together. All right.
Definitely.
Bless you, Shakwani. I tell you, you're doing an amazing job, young woman. Thank you so much. All right. God bless everybody. Thank you for joining. Have a fantastic evening, rest of the night, and great Thursday. And we will see you again on Friday. All right, Dave, take it away. Thanks to the callers who enlightened us a lot tonight, didn't they? I was really enlightened tonight. Dave seemed to be having some challenges there.
Promise us a better tomorrow. Tell me that it's suffering done. Me attack the vote and let me down. Me attack the vote and let me down. She did only want little dealing, big contracts and not corruption. Me attack the vote and let me down. Me attack the vote and let me down. Barbados is too small for me. My pocket full, now you and job they promise me. And a girl like me want power and more money. You cry transparency, but that's a no for me. Promise us a better tomorrow. Tell me that it's suffering done. Me attack the vote and let me down. Me attack the vote and let me down. She did only want little dealing, big contracts and not corruption. Me attack the vote and let me down. Me attack the vote and let me down.
All right. Good night, folks. Have a good night, and we see you again on Friday.